players that are winning you your leagues. Let's hit the intro, bring the guys on, and get right into the game. Make sure you smash that like. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching this on Who Hames channel and on Hartman's channel, make sure you're subscribed over there as well. If you're in this chat, we're multi-streaming it. Let's get into it. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words. What's up, fellas? How we doing tonight?
Great. How are you?
Doing good, man. Hartman.
Doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Dude, it's Wednesday. We're getting through the week. We're halfway through essentially the regular season of the NFL. We're almost there. We're a little bit past halfway through leg one of our best ball tournaments, of our season long, of our managed leagues. We're gearing up. It's make or break. It's win now if you want to get into your playoffs, right? So I thought, knowing all of that, be the perfect time for us to discuss the rest of season outlook and play what I like to call the advance rate game. So this is a new game where Hartman and Who Hames are going to face off. They're going to be talking about the players that to this point in the season have been winning you your leagues. And if we think that will continue, if we think it won't continue, it's a rest of season outlook game. And we're basing it off of the current advance rates through the first 8 weeks. So the way it's going to go down, we're going to start with naming that player. We're going to talk, we've got the best QBs, some disappointing QBs, the best running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. The names are hidden. The guys will have the opportunity to correctly name a player and get a point. Get up on the scoreboard. Then they're going to choose if they want to be the good cop or the bad cop. The good cop is going to tell us why that player is going to win you your leagues, why their good advance rate is going to continue the rest of the season and their good performance. Or they could take the bad cop and, this guy is going to disappoint the rest of the year. It's a sell high opportunity, anything like that, right? The opponent will then have, after that 30 seconds of pleading your case, the opponent will then have to take the other side, be forced to take the other side. Even if they don't believe it, they're going to have to try to give us their best sell on the opposite side of the fence, right? So then the chat will have a chance to contribute after both of the guys do their good cop and their bad cop on a given player. The chat can say who they think made the better case, or else I'll assign the points. And it's a made-up game with made-up points and no real prizes. But I thought it'd be fun for us to look at this rest of season outlook and kind of pick these guys' brains, some very sharp drafters, guys who are always in the drafting streets and doing tons of volume across best ball, managed league, high stakes, you name it, dailies. So this is the advance rate game. Before we get started, gentlemen, I'll start with Who Hames. Any thoughts going into this?
No, I'm just curious to see exactly how it plays out.
Perfect. He's ready. Hartman,
I'm ready
how about
to
you?
argue.
I think it'll be pretty fun. It's fun to have to take a side.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys, we're going to preview all of the different options we have. And then there's no real order. So we'll get it started and you can kind of take your pick on which category you want to start into. Our categories are going to be the top 4 advance rate QBs. So what we have here is 4 lines of data for 4 corresponding players. Once all 4 of these quarterbacks have been identified, there's actually another bonus question at the bottom of this one. The 2 highlighted columns that I think are most important to focus on is going to be the contest advance rate, which should be obvious here. It's very high. These are the 4 best advancing QBs, but then we also have the closing ADP. So if we remember back to our beginning of September ADPs right before the contest closes, gives us some insight on who we might be talking about here if we don't already know. That's the top 4 QBs. We also have disappointing advance rate QBs. And the caveat here is all of these guys are essentially healthy. Everyone's playing through some kind of injury, but these guys really haven't missed any time. Their advance rates aren't terrible, but they're relatively disappointing is the point of this one. We've also got the top 4 advance rate running backs not named Jonathan Taylor. There's a hint here. They're all from the NFC, surprisingly enough. Maybe it's just a coincidence. We've got the top 4 advance rate wide receivers. And then we've got top 5 advance rate tight ends. And there's a bonus last question that can be answered once we've uncovered every single player across all the categories. So those are our 5 categories. It's best of each position and then some disappointing QBs. Hartman or Huhames.
Your advance rate, are you literally advancing 0% of some of these players that are like really high?
Damn it, Huhames. I thought about blacking that out, but you've doxed me. I am advancing 0% of some of these players. So
I'm advancing 0% of several players. So
that was I'm starting off Huhames as a -1 point for that
sounds
comment.
good. Hey, it's very worth it. Very, very.
I knew that was going to come up, and I was unprepared how to answer that. Yes, these are actually my advance rates.
Hey, but look at that one. You got 53%. Like, that makes up for it. Assuming you have more than 4 shares, or I guess with that math, it'd be like, yeah, you couldn't have 4 shares, but yeah.
I think for the 0% also, those tend to be heavy fades, right?
Yeah.
So the variance is killing
Correct.
you on 1 or 2 shares.
Right.
Right.
So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's I have a very similar. There was one I saw that was close to my own heart in Candyman's portfolio.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think we're on the same wavelength there. Yeah. All right. So this is the game. I am going to give it. I'm going to go right down the line. We're going to start with Huhames. Huhames, you get to pick the category and you get to try to answer and name a player. If you name a player, you get a point. You then have 30 seconds to take either good cop or bad cop, forcing your opponent to take the other side of the argument. And then me and the chat together will vote and give our opinion of who assigns the point. So there's 2 points you can get for each player take. So Huhames, starting with you.
We'll take. Do I have to pick the percentage, or do I just name one? And if it's on there,
yeah,
it's on there?
you get to pick the category, and you get to name a player.
I will not take the easiest one, but it's probably pretty easy, and I'll take quarterback. And we'll say I'm a Chiefs fan. Let's go, Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. I'm curious to see. I actually didn't test this out before. Whoop. Boom.
Did it work?
Damn. Okay, 1 second.
Damn, did not work. All right.
Maybe it added a whole new slide or something.
Well, I'll just do this.
Yeah, and like Coolers is answering in the chat. It's probably better if the chat. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
movie magic.
I figured that he was one of the bottom 2, but I figured he was up there. We're gonna take the positive side because I'm a Chiefs fan. I have to, right? I can't not do that. Tell me when we're ready.
Let's start our timer now.
So he's absolutely going to keep this, if not go higher. All of the picks around him are absolute trash. Like Josh Downs, not good. Like I guess like J.K. Dobbins, like a round later. Like Scadaboo just got hurt. All like Brandon Ayuk was going there for a while. None of the other quarterbacks. I guess Bo Nix was really good around there, but you have two players that are advancing out of those areas, and you have the
Time. Closing thoughts? In a word, in a sentence?
Oh, for me,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that offense is absolutely cooking. Rice is back. We're good.
Perfect. Love it. So took the good cop side. That means, Hartman, you are forced to tell us why Patrick Mahomes is maybe not going to be a league winner, maybe not going to keep up this value that he's provided for people who took him at the latest ADP we've maybe ever drafted Patrick Mahomes. Prefacing that, I mean, you got 30 seconds. Hope you've got your bad cop case ready, Hartman. Starting on when you go.
Oh, okay. I think Pat Mahomes, he has a way higher TD rate than he's had the past couple of years. Higher yards a game. You see him rushing a lot more as he's getting older. I think any of that could regress a little bit to what it was the last 2 years. Travis Kelce, he's a little older. He could fade as the season goes. Xavier Worthy, he could be at risk of an injury for being a tiny little guy. Other than that, they have, offensive line is okay, but not amazing. I
Time.
don't know. It
Final thoughts.
It's really hard to make the negative case against Patty Mahomes because now he has all the guys, but it's kind of the best, I think, case that he regresses the last couple of years rates and whatnot. Yeah.
So chat, this is your opportunity to get into the chat to let us know, are you riding with Who Hames that Patrick Mahomes is going to be a league winner the rest of the season, and more really the case that he made, or Hartman, and do you think you're maybe a sell high on Patrick Mahomes? You don't think he can keep it up? You think it's a first half of the season, thing, but not a second half of the season? There's a lot left time to go. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. And I also am going to be the moderator. I'm going to give the points out on this one. I see we got FK in the chat. Shout out to FK. He thinks Mahomes is more likely to sustain than go backwards. And he's got, he's going to stand pat with Rice back and looking good. I think I would agree. I think we're going to give the point to Who Hames on this one.
I'm a zero.
Both made a good case on the first player, but it's kind of hard to knock Patrick Mahomes, I will admit. It's a tough position for Hartman to be in. Also take this opportunity to say what up to everyone in the chat. We got Galaxy Pickers here. We've got Scott. How we doing, brother? Dark Side Dev, good to see you. Paulino, what's up, my guy? FK, of course. How we doing, brother? John B, good to see you. We got Don Julio. What's up, my man? First time watcher. Appreciate you being here. And then Go Easy Cards, aka Charles, my man. How we doing? Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday night. In this segment, we're going to play through the advance rate game, and then we're going to get into everything week 9, your questions. We're going to look at the main slate. We're going to draft some teams, but this is the advance rate game. If you're just joining, we're naming players, we're taking sides, we're pleading our cases, and we're assigning points that are imaginary with no real prizes. But we're talking about rest of season outlook. We've got one player down. Now we go to.
Can I say
one
more thing about so this is recent news with KC, by the way. Justin Simmons should be back, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that. Apparently, there was he had a leave of absence just because we didn't know why. It was a personal thing. Apparently, something was going on with his mom, and that's why he was gone. And they haven't went into real detail, but it says they're still dealing with some stuff. But I'm assuming I don't want to make any assumptions, but because he just left the team and the team was fine with it, right? They didn't really say anything negative, and it was out for personal reasons. He did come out today and say something about he should be back. I don't know if they'll wait till after this game and then the bye week or not, but that's a big part as well. But I could have mentioned just in general for all Mahomes stuff in all of your leagues. Gotcha. That's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Good intel there.
Yeah.
Say what up. We got Mac G in the chat also thrown out. He thinks Pat will be fine as long as they stay fairly healthy, which, lo and behold, is kind of the common thread of all these advance rates.
Yeah.
It's health. I mean, some players are kind of busting without being injured, but everyone's injured in some capacity. There's wrist injuries that you're not maybe missing a game, but you're not performing very well. Brian Thomas Jr. kind of outcomes, things, whatever it could be. So, but really it is the players who are missing time with injuries, their advance rates are tanking, a la Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, especially the more expensive you were and the more games you miss, the more you're going to hurt advance rate. Let's toss it over to Hartman. Hartman, you get to pick a category and then guess a name. Do you want to keep it here or do you want to move on to a different position or slide?
We're gonna go to top receivers.
Let's do that.
One thing
I know exactly who we're going with.
Is it okay to like reference stats from like Player Profiler, or like is that not really in the spirit of the game?
Yeah, you can definitely. That is the most spirited part of the game, I would say. That's very spirited.
Okay, yeah, like not to figure out who they are, but like when I'm gonna. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna go JSN.
Oh, JSN.
Oh, I did not expect that.
I've actually never heard of this guy because I officially have, and we'll bring it back up here. I have 0% JSN, so I've never even heard of this guy. Who? 1 point for Hartman, getting that one right. Hartman, when you're ready, you got 30 seconds.
All right, so I'm gonna be the good cop on JSN. I think I also fade JSN. I've never been more wrong. He's like dominating in basically every metric: target share, target rate, air yard share. He just is completely the engine of that offense. They could have 200 passing yards and he'll still have over 100. It seems like he's averaging well over 100 yards a game, on pace to go for like 2K. Absolutely destroying the next best receiver over 100 yards over them. I just think he's going to continue to dominate. He's the engine of that offense. I think him and Darnold have a connection.
And time. Perfect. Well said. Wrapped it up right in there. Man, like pie in the face, egg on the face, whatever the expression is. You and I, we got into an echo chamber there at some point in the summer. We're just like, there's no way this JSN guy can pay off with, they're running the ball and this defense, and then Sam Darnold's a fraud. We were wrong. So tough. But man, JSN, having a hell of a season. I wrote a note. So I have this note that I carry on between best ball seasons. It's like a running note. It's always like, great ideas, but mostly it's like takeaways, learned lessons.
Yeah.
And my new learned lesson is just, you don't fade year 3 wide receivers, whether it's JSN or QJ. You just can't fade these year 3 wide receivers. They can still have that year 3 breakout, relative to whatever they've done in the past. That's kind of one thing I'd written down. But okay, now Hames, you're going to have to take the bad cop case against JSN when you're ready, sir.
All right. Okay, so JSN, like when he's out there, it doesn't even look like he's really trying to run routes. He's just kind of out there jogging. I know it works. It's been working. But is it really going to continue to work? I don't know. They're also a run-first team. Like, we all know that they just want to run. Robbie Utes been out. That's why they've been passing more. So, I hear all those stats Hartman had. We're not here for stats. We're here for feels. It's all about what it feels like and what it looks like. And we got a good defensive team that wants to run the ball. He's the only receiver. Like, eventually they're going to double cover him. So I'm going to say he does not stay at that. He'll drop all the way down to like 27%.
And time. I think all the way down to 27% advanced. Yeah, okay, there. I doubt that's actually pretty clever there. Yeah. It's tough to make the case against him. That's fair. Yeah, we got FK in the chat. we got Hartman in the chat. Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized that. Yeah.
Shout out to Mac G, Darkside Dev. Hames doesn't even believe that. Yes. So according to Darkside Dev, he's calling you out. We're going to give that point to Hartman there. The chat agrees, but I mean, as hard as it is to go against Patrick Mahomes, it probably is equally as hard to go against JSN, who was being drafted as a third round wide receiver, sometimes in the fourth round, and is playing like a first round, draft pick. So hard to go against him there. But very, very good cases for both sides. We're back over to Who Hames. Who Hames, do you want to stay in this category? Do you want to move to a different one?
I'm not 100% sure that this guy is here, but I'm going to guess he is, and we'll stay here. We'll go Quentin Johnston.
He is not here.
He is not. Okay.
We will go to Hartman. Hartman, do you want to stay here or do you want to move on?
Let's wait. Let's move on. Let's move on.
There's
a running back.
There's
an obvious one, but I don't know what side of the case to make.
So there's no Jonathan Taylor is the only cue. It's the top 4 not named Jonathan Taylor.
And I know there's an obvious one here. There's one obvious one, probably 2 obvious ones at quarterback as well.
Yeah. I think
you are not the father.
Huh?
You are not. Yeah.
I think I'll go Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
That'd be him, right?
Jingleheimer Smith
is on the list. I knew he was, but I had to. Oh no! Don't look behind the scenes.
It only
had to slow roll it a little bit. Boom.
It only.
I thought it was going to update when I deleted these in another tab, but it doesn't. It just holds. Is there a way? We'll work on it, but this works for now. Okay, Josh Jacobs is there. That's a point for Hartman, and you have whenever you're ready, you can take good cop or bad cop. You got 30 seconds when you're ready.
I go good cop on Josh Jacobs. I think the his touchdown rate, all that. I mean, last year he was a touchdown machine near the end of the year. I think they see how well that worked near the end of the year. I think he's been a little bit slow the past 2 weeks with the injuries. The snap share has been a little bit down. I think that's the real question. He needs to overcome the injury, but I think with that and given the other players in his range, other than Jonathan Taylor, but he's often paired with Jonathan Taylor as well. I think he's just gonna, kind of carry that Green Bay offense. Going to be used heavily on the goal line, even when he's not carry them as much, but be used heavily in like high value roles.
Time. Well said. Yeah. Who else are they going to go to? And the high value touches, it seems like he's got that on lock. So that's pretty, I would say, pretty good for his rest of season outlook, being that guy. The injury, though, he is playing through it, but it seems like he is splitting a little bit more workload, still gets the high value touches, like you said. Who Hames, when you're ready.
Yeah, like you said, you're betting on an injured player here. I'm not positive that he's actually that much healthier than he's leading on. His production has dropped the last 2 weeks since the injury. They're not letting it rest. Maybe they need to let it rest. The players around him are actually starting to cook too. So like Ladd McConkey's starting to cook. Chase Brown kind of looks better. T. Higgins looks better. As long as Flacco stays healthy, those two are going to actually go up. I do think that his advance rate will definitely drop. And the Packers are kind of a little more suspect as a team. I don't think they're going to be heavily ahead in these games as much.
Well said. I mean, it does make sense. He's done well. I'm actually, I know he's got a good advance rate. I'm not too surprised, but there is some kind of concerning parts of his profile where it's like the opportunity cost that you're getting at some of the other players around him that could also have these big weeks. I think there's always now, like T. Higgins looked dead for a minute. He's back alive. Like T. Higgins can always be that guy you need.
Lamar, Josh Allen was going around there.
Right. They're going to come back. So there's some players in that range. Are we convinced that Josh Jacobs, outside of Jonathan Taylor, is the best player that was going in that range? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe Josh Jacobs is a trap right now where it's like you have him and you're doing great, but when a time comes he could always let down, and it could just be another T. Higgins that you had to have had in that range. So I could see both sides of it.
Yeah.
Mac G says Josh Jacobs is suspect. I think
It's all about the argument.
I'm gonna roll with Huhames on this one. We're gonna give Huhames a point. I think it was well articulated. It's really tough to argue the bad cop when we're talking about the 4 best advance rate players. So I'm gonna give him a point on that one. And that was Hartman's category. So now we're gonna toss it back to Huhames.
Was tight ends on there? Just curious.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was just curious. I'm not going to guess. I mean, there's a pretty obvious one here, and it is Tyler Warren. And let's go with Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren is not on the list,
What?
unfortunately.
What?
How was he not on the list?
I thought for sure he would be on the list.
I'm
I guess-
I'm 1 for 3 now. I thought for sure he was on this list.
I
guess there
was
was
looking because we'll get to it later. There's another surprise, but I thought he would have been on this list too, but it would have had to have been the top 7 for him to make it. There's Hunter Henry at 6.
Yeah.
And Tyler
there's
Warren is actually at 7 right now.
So there's so many awesome tight ends that got very late. And like that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the ADP though, the guy at 93. I mean, so I want to guess him just because I want to know if it's him. Is it Travis Kelce?
Yeah, it is because
It is
it actually makes sense.
Travis Kelce.
It's because he was paired with Mahomes, and Mahomes was a good pick.
Mm.
That's why.
Wendy, if it's updated now, I mean, he's had like 2 pretty good weeks.
No,
right?
like
he's been decent.
with Kelsey's overperformed and Mahomes has smashed, right?
Yeah.
So and it was so easy and free to pair Kelsey with him.
That's
So
true.
Kelce's
They were a lot of
Kelce's
like
the
double.
number
dip.
So
4.
it does make sense.
I mean, I'll save it. I'll let you both plead your cases, but I have a part 2 about Kelce, and it's just crazy, you know. But Hartman, the floor is yours when you're ready.
I think with Kelce, I'd go bad cop because I think even with the offense humming, I think we saw Rice's rookie year, like him just take that role away so much, especially as he got integrated more into the offense. And I think that Kelce will be really capped ceiling wise week to week. Just with, I don't know, as Rice fully gets reestablished, if Worthy takes on more of a role. And Kelce, like over the course of the season, you know, I mean, he's probably the oldest starting tight end in the NFL, like at least this fantasy relevant, I'd imagine. I don't know if that's a true stat, but
Time.
Yeah.
Good case. Huhames,
Waller.
this is one of your guys, and it's not one of your guys, but it is one of your guys.
I'm very underexposed to him this year.
I know.
And I have a hilarious case. That's actually so. All right, so Travis Kelce is actually found the fountain of youth somehow. Apparently, getting married to one of the richest people in the world has given him a little bit of energy. But what we didn't know going into the season is that Travis Kelce would be our deep threat. 2 weeks in a row, he has our biggest play, our longest play. So what do you need in best ball? We need spike weeks. What gives you spike weeks? Big plays. So Travis Kelce is actually just Xavier Worthy at this point. Like, he's the one getting the deep plays. I don't actually believe that, but it's happening.
Oh, well, I thought you believed it for a second there. You kind of sold me, and then you backtracked a little there.
Yeah. It's been back-to-back weeks. It's been like 40-yard catches.
You know, my case was going to be, this is the cheapest we've ever been able to draft Travis Kelce in any league, in anything best ball. And of course he's going to pay off at his cheapest price. Like, regardless, the guy's a legend, right? He just is Travis Kelce. We're just starting to let the noise impact our judgment. Clearly, the noise impacted my judgment. I only have 6.7. I think this is my best ball mania exposure because I'm not too familiar with this website. But
Yeah, it's all BBM.
it must be just BBM because I know I have higher than that across all tournaments. But yeah, even only about 7%. I'm below the field in BBM. I'm a little bit ashamed because he was so cheap, and I was always advocating that he was a good price. I'm gonna give it to Huhames there. I'm still gonna give it to you, even though you backtracked. But the whole deep threat thing and the big playability, I think we're seeing it.
The part I don't believe is that he's actually savior worthy. I do believe that he has the ability for the deep threat. I believe part of it.
Yeah.
But he isn't savior worthy. Let's be honest.
Facts. Yo, what up, Splashdown? How we doing, brother? Good to see you. If you guys are watching on any of our channels, make sure you hit the like on our channels. Make sure you're subscribed to all three of us, myself, the Fantasy Football Garage, at Fantasy Football Garage on YouTube. We've got Huhames and we've got Hartman. Links in the description on my channel, but we're always streaming together. You can find us. You can find us on Twitter as well. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels. And we've been doing this every Wednesday night in season. We're previewing the main slate week 9. That's coming up soon. We're drafting some dailies on Underdog. We're going to do a dog bull qualifier together live. We're going to talk about our ranks for this week. We're going to answer your questions at the same time. And we're going to draft some battle royales that I owe them, because shout out to National Tight End Day. And apparently I don't know ball, but these guys do. So tonight they're facing off in an advanced rate game, talking rest of season outlooks. The score right now in this game, it's very close. It's currently Hartman 4, Huhames 3. And so that was Hartman who just picked the last one, right?
Yeah. Let me, it's a new game. I want to suggest a little bit on the scoring. And this just hurts me. If we miss one of these, we should lose a point.
We might have to.
Right? I've missed 2 of them. I think I should lose those 2 points. If you want to make it an actual game, I think that makes sense.
Technically, you did start with -1, so it would have been tied otherwise. And I'm not even kidding. I docked you a point for that comment about my advanced rate.
It's all for fun.
Yeah, we'll consider that. I'll write that down. But I'm not taking any suggestions from the players at this moment. I am the moderator here. Got to hold my ground. But let's toss it back to Huhames. It's your turn to give us a category and then guess a player.
I'll take one of them. He can take the other. I'll take Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft is on the board. Let me just find him real quick.
It's crazy that they're back-to-back picks, basically, and they're both 30%.
Boom. Getting faster at this. Tucker Kraft is there. He is the 3rd best tight end in terms of advance rate. I honestly don't know how my ownership's so low. Let's stop talking about my teams. But we've all liked him all summer long. Apparently, I just didn't listen, or I don't know what happened. Maybe it was there's some other players in that range I might have liked more. Maybe I was playing more late tight end, but apparently, so it was middle tight end you wanted all along is kind of the theme here. These guys were all going in the middle of drafts, and they are the best tight ends you could have gotten. Huhames, the floor is yours.
We're going good cop, and we're taking. So all the way back in January, they were asked about Tucker Kraft, and the coaching staff just said, "Hey, we think he could be George Kittle." And we heard that, and we talked about that, and we never listened. We didn't just be like, "Hey, this guy could just be George Kittle in this offense." He is absolutely their number 1 receiver. It is not Matthew Golden as much as we want it to be. It's not going to be Christian Watson because he's going to be hurt again in 3 weeks. Jaden Reed practicing again. The only consistent target that they're ever going to have in the history of Jordan Love is going to be Tucker Kraft.
Well said. It is a confusing conundrum of target shares and who is the alpha there. Hartman, when you're ready.
I think the negative case for Tucker Kraft is we kind of saw it after his first blow up week where they can just go so run heavy that he just doesn't get the usage to really be paying off a super high advance rate consistently. He does have the spike week ability, but with them being so run heavy, and especially later in the year, they might even lean more into the run. And Emmanuel Wilson looks good too as another change of pace guy. They're 24th in team pass plays per game. So I think just the low volume of the offense as a whole, and he only has 41 targets on the year, which is good, but not like elite. So I think that just a low volume could really hurt him throughout the year.
Yeah, they have been leaning on the run. They've been playing more defensively. Love's pass volume hasn't always been there. I think I'm going to have to give this one to Huhames. He's on a roll. He is just scoring point after point, but it's really close. That one, I honestly, if I would have had anyone from the chat, the negative case for Kraft, Watson being back. Yeah, I mean, there is some negative case, right? So that was really close. I'm going to give it to Huhames. But I think Hartman did a great job there of kind of articulating the point of why you could be a little bit concerned about Kraft going forward. Back to Hartman. Do you want to keep it here or do you want to pick a different category?
I'll keep it here. I'll pick wait. Oh, wait, no. Who is that? Oh, Oronde Gadsden?
Oronde
Gadsden
the second. He
I about said Harold Fannin.
It easily could have been. Somehow I did draft an Oronde Gadsden team, and it's not advancing, but damn. Yeah, second Oronde Gadsden. He's come on strong in the last few weeks. He's that guy, and he's the 5th best tight end in terms of advance rate in Best Ball Mania. Who would have seen that coming? He's probably the most low-owned tight end as well with any kind of advance rate. Hartman, the floor is yours.
So I think for Gadsden, I think just he's just shown such like high spike week potential. It seems like his like snap shares are increasing, just his usage is increasing. It seems like they're using those other tight ends a lot less, and he's just taking over that role fully, and just he's showing such high spike weeks. He's a rookie coming on, halfway through the year. They got their bye soon, and that might even get him like fully taking over, the whole role. QJ's dead. He took over QJ's role already. And the Chargers are humming. Their offense looks amazing. So I think Gadsden's going to keep on cooking, especially how late he was too. That's going to keep going. Like how low owned and late he was. I mean, a couple more spikes and he's at 40%. Right? I mean, 30 or whatever.
Huhames, you have a challenging task to give us the bear case of Oronde Gadsden, a player who was undrafted in, I would guess, 99% of drafts.
Yeah. All right. So last week we seen the Chargers. They ran this set over and over again to where they put 3 tight ends on there. And yes, Gadsden was the one they were throwing to. But the reason they were doing that is so they could run the ball. Just run. Whenever Vidal's been awesome, and when Hampton comes back, maybe they just run more. I'm not saying that 23%. I'm not saying he's going to be under 15%, but could it drop? It could drop. Lad McConkey's starting to cook. Keenan Allen is their third down option. That's the trusted option of Herbert, has been before. It is again. And he's a rookie. All it's going to take is a fumble or something. And Jim Harbaugh, gone.
That's a tough sell there. It's a real tough sell. I think you did a fair job of kind of, they could be running the ball through Vidal. He is a rookie. Rookies are pretty volatile. I mean, there are a number of other rookies that had way more draft capital that we were taking in 100% of our drafts that have a week on, week off. Harvey, Bill, Woody Marks. These guys, they go up and down. I will say, though, Oronde Gadsden has been steady Eddie. He is the rising target share, the rising air yard share, everything. He's taking over roles in that offense. He's banishing QJ to the shadow realm. It seems like he's becoming the number 3 target in that offense going forward. So I'm going to give that one to Hartman, but the deck was stacked against you there.
No, he won. easily.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, some of them just are like free, right? When you get to pick it.
Yeah, negative case for Gaston is I only have 7.7% exposure, but at least I've got one. At least I've got
I mean,
one.
That's more than me.
Hartman missed the biggest point of the positive.
What
And
was
that
that?
is the positive is 6.9. Like that's close case. Case closed. Closing value plus 6.9.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like end of story. Like case closed. So but yeah.
I think that was Hartman. 2 points for Hartman there. He gets the question right, the player right, and he gets the point for the debate. So this one goes to Who Hames now.
Let's just stay here. We'll go Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson is the top tight end in terms of advance rate for
I figured that's who he would say.
2025. Jake Ferguson has been, the guy. He had been the guy until he put up a goose egg last week in week 8. But let me not sway anyone's opinions here. Who Hames, the floor is yours.
I'll take bear case. All right, so Jake Ferguson has been doing it, but he mostly done it in the middle of the season when CeeDee Lamb was not healthy. And now that CeeDee Lamb is back, I do think that we're going to see a tick down. Yes, he got there one of those weeks with 2 random red zone targets, but he only had, I think, 26 or 27 yards. If he only had 1 touchdown that week, which didn't happen, but like that's something that could definitely regress negatively. And I just don't see those short touchdowns staying there. I think Javonte's going to get more involved again. And like they're eventually going to throw these balls to Pickens in the end zone. Like they're just going to have to. They're going to do it at some point. I see the offense going more in that direction, and that's just where I view it.
To Hartman for the good cop, the bull case for Jake Ferguson rest of season.
I think he's had the most. I mean, he has the most catches of any tight end this year so far. I do think he's still going to be, consistently used in that offense. Obviously, he did put up a goose egg, but I think just tight end's a little more volatile position in general. I mean, George Kittle put up a goose egg, right? He's supposed to be an elite tight end. But like, I think his role in that offense will be more secure than most tight ends in his range or later. And the Dallas scoring potential is going to be so much higher than almost any other offense week to week.
I actually 100% agree. I see both sides of it. I think there's definitely a bear case. CeeDee Lamb coming back, what's going on, but the Cowboys offense is undeniable. You just want any piece of it, it seems like. So I'm going to give the point there to Hartman. You want a piece of the Cowboys on your fantasy team to access, the season that Dak is having and the number of points they're putting up.
Let me look at this real quick. I believe going into last week, like you said, he led tight ends and receptions.
I just checked that. He has 51.
Going into like before Joe Flacco was there, he was leading the league, right? Like before Joe Flacco went to like 2 weeks ago, I think he was leading the league actually.
Oh yeah, he probably was because Puka only has 54 and he's number 2.
I don't remember what week it was, but he was outscoring JSN.
I guess he would have been 2. Yeah.
Ferguson was outscoring JSN in one of my leagues. It's PPR and tight end premium, but I had traded JSN before the season for AJ Brown and Jake Ferguson. I really needed a tight end, and I was cool with the trade for JSN for AJ Brown. This is before the season started, of course, but I think it was through like 3 or 4 weeks. Ferguson was out actually outscoring JSN, and JSN was already doing well at that point. So I've seen it. I'm pretty upset about the goose egg last week, but I'm a believer in this Cowboys offense and Jake Ferguson. So I gave Hartman the point there. Shout out to FK in the chat. We got Charles, Bo, Singleton. How we doing, brother? And Marcus, how we doing, my friend? Thanks for joining us. Make sure you guys hit the like on whatever channel you're watching us on, Hartman's, Huhame's, or mine, and make sure you're subscribed to all three of us. Links in description. You can find it all over the place.
If you're one of the 4 people watching on my channel, head on over to Fantasy Football Garage. Also, at minimum, go over there and smash the like for them as well.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys for watching us tonight. Hope you're having fun. We are playing the advance rate game. We have the two of the very sharpest drafters that I know here, Huhames and Hartman. They're facing off. We're talking rest of season outlooks, the bull case, the bear case, the good cop, the bad cop, on some of the league winners to this point by position group. We're almost through the tight ends, but I think it goes back here to, is it over to Hartman now?
Hartman, yeah.
Hartman, do you want to keep it in tight ends or do you want to skip around to another position group?
Yeah, let's just finish it off. Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert is the guy, is the name. He's the number 2 tight end in terms of advance rate this year, which to me is a little bit surprising, but I want to hear y'all's takes on Dallas Goedert going forward. So the floor is yours, Hartman.
I think for Dallas Goedert, I'll take the bear case, the negative case. I think for him, just his target volume has been very inconsistent. He's been pretty TD dependent, and I think he's in an offense like that has pretty good scoring potential, like week to week. But in general, they tend to kind of grind when they get a lead and slow down the games. And he's on a crazy touchdown pace this year. I have a really hard time seeing that hold with Saquon, Hurts, AJ Brown, all that talent. And I think just with their play style, they limit their true ceiling week to week. If they get a lead, like if they're in a shootout, they can hit ceiling. But yeah, I think and just the limited volume in general for him.
Mm-hmm. Limited volume. To Huhames.
So the Eagles hadn't been able to run the ball until they went up against the Giants. The Giants are like the second worst team or third worst team or something against the run. I think that this team is going to end up being a passing team. Their run blocking isn't as good as it has been in the past. AJ Brown is doing weird, wild things. Dallas Goedert is the red zone target. And we've seen that consistently. Jalen Hurts, by the way, is like the single most consistent quarterback. He's only had 1 week under 19 fantasy points. And that's partly because he is passing the ball in the red zone, all of the short ones. And a lot of that is gimmick plays to Dallas Goedert. I don't think that leaves. I think that it's very projectable. He also is getting a decent amount of targets every week. I don't know the actual number, but he's definitely their third target. Like most of the weeks, he ends up second. So
yeah, no, I gave the point to Huhames there. Talked about the red zone threat. Talked about how he's being used in the offense. Some of the AJ Brown stuff going on. Charles brings up the point, like a lot of times he's stacked with AJ Brown. It's a wasted wide receiver spot. I think I've got a fair amount of Dallas Goedert. You can see my exposure there, 15%. I must have been crazy about it. I know I like him. He's never played a full season. He's always missed a game, but when he plays, he's pretty effective on a per game basis. And I think we're seeing potentially a career high in touchdowns for him. So point to Huhames arguing there. The score is now Hartman 8, Huhames 7, and we've cleared the tight end category. That was Hartman who chose Dallas Goedert there. We're going to flip it over to Huhames. Huhames, the categories are open to you.
Let's go to the one that neither one of us want to admit, but we know it's there. We're going to running back, and we're taking Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams is on the wrong one. Yeah. Javonte Williams is the running back with the second best advance rate this season, and he is the best advance rate for a running back not named Jonathan Taylor. There he is, Javonte Williams. I faded him pretty hard, and
me too.
It's not great. It's not great, I'll admit, through the first half of the season, and I've come around. I am big in on Javonte now. I've been advocating trading for him each of the last weeks, pretty much since week 3 of this season. I've been saying, go get him if you can, until, people haven't really figured out yet. If people people who are rostering him, they kind of see the light, but he's got the floor, he's got the ceiling, he's getting it done. Who Hames, you get the point for that one, and the floor is yours, sir.
I was about to respond to Clutch Pants there. I'll just say it out loud. I would probably if you're okay being thin at a position, see if you can send London and Tet for one of the elites, like an Amon-Ra.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would try, and then have Amon-Ra plus Bryce. That's what I would think I would try to do in your situation. Having all of those, if you only start 2, I'm assuming you start 2. If you start 3, I probably just keep the depth. I'll take the positive case, and I think the reason neither one of us wanted to choose him is because we know that the positive case is the right side, and we didn't want to make it. So we'll start right now. The Dallas Cowboys offense absolutely cooking. The only running back they care about is Javonte Williams. They finally let Jaden Blue try to play the game. He fumbled. That's not good. Miles Sanders hurt. They have nobody else. Phil Maffa might come back, but Javonte is the absolute guy. He actually looks good. He's forcing some missed tackles. He's actually running some people over. The Cowboys offense is like I said, absolutely insane. Like, this was pick 137. What were we doing? Like what were we doing? We were all being idiots. That's my takeaway. I was an idiot. I was wrong. Javonte is one of the best picks on the board, and with Jaden Blue's fumble, I don't see it getting any different.
Well said. Hartman, your case against Javonte Williams.
I think for Javonte Williams, I think he could end up being a little bit touchdown dependent I think he's not super efficient on his touches as far as like any of his advanced stuff like yards per out run, yards per reception, or like, just juke rate or like evading tacklers. He's not very efficient with his carries. I think that could lead him to, a little bit worse, like a little bit worse season down the stretch. His workload could decrease with Blue coming on.
It's tough.
What do you even
is
go
the
at?
negative? He's on this high powered offense.
It's so hard to not.
He's getting the touches. He's
Miles
one of the
Sanders
most
is
consistent
dead.
fantasy scorers this year. Not named Christian McCaffrey or Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he's practically. Yeah, I think he might even be more consistently good than like almost any other running back at cost.
He's a consistent 3rd round pick in PRs. Like every week, he just goes in the 3rd round, and half the weeks he's a guy who helped you.
Yep. We have Charles saying negative case Javonte Slappies are annoying. Yeah, crossface. How we doing, brother? Says idiot over here. Yeah, it was. It's tough. It's tough. I give the point there to Who Hames. It just is hard. It is hard to go against Javonte Williams. I don't know what we'd have to. I don't think anyone can really argue against that at this point. So it'd be tough to get that point there.
The Jaden Blue fumble really sealed the whole thing.
Oh man,
like that was a negative for him coming into this draft as well.
And he's been known to fumble too. So
yeah.
Shout out to Fantasy Dog, one of the OGs in the chat. Appreciate the kind words, my friend, and for hitting the like button. Don't forget to slap that like on all 3 of our streams. We're triple streaming it tonight. Thinking about Javonte Williams and like one of my worst fades of the year besides probably JSN. I think back to that Happy Gilmore scene where he's talking to Chubbs Peterson. He comes back to him asking for forgiveness. He says, "I'm stupid. You're smart. I was wrong. You were right." And he's like, "You're the best. I'm the worst. You're very good looking. I'm not attractive at all." That's how I feel when I have to talk to these Javonte Williams bulls and ask for forgiveness that I was a fader of Javonte.
Yeah. I mean, I was a massive fader of Javonte too. I just With Jaden Blue looking bad, it's so hard to even think of like what to go against him on.
Yeah,
It-
it's been tough sledding. That Javante, remind me who threw out Javante?
I did.
So over back to Hartman. Hartman, do you want to keep it here or do you want to pick a different category?
I'll keep it here and go CMC.
CMC is on the list. In fact, he excluding Jonathan Taylor, CMC is the number 4. So overall, number 5 advance rate running back. Shout out to Fantasy Dog. Appreciate you, my friend, for the kind words, always for the likes, the comments, all of the things you do to support the channel. And thank you for the super chat. Man, my guy. What a guy. What a nice guy. Look at this guy. He's always reminding us to like this stream. He says, my favorite trio plus Steve. Good looking too. Man, this guy, too kind. Thanks for being here, Fantasy Dog. Always good to see you in the chat. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night. And again, thank you for supporting ya boys. Thank you for supporting the stream. I'm going to put that money right towards the Battle Royale that I'm about to draft that I owe both Hartman and Who Hames. I don't know if you heard this last week, Fantasy Dog. It was National Tight End Day, and I'm the idiot who thought that George Kittle, the founder of National Tight End Day, wouldn't score a touchdown against my Houston Texans on said National Tight End Day. He'd only ever scored a touchdown on every single National Tight End Day that's existed, but somehow it didn't resonate with me. I thought, no, this defense is too good. I will say, though, if you look at the pass that he caught, it was a pretty miraculous catch. The odds that he caught that ball is like way below 50-50.
I have a question for you. Do you think that, like, and I don't know the actual answer. Do you think the Tonjes touchdown was to Kittle as well, or do you think it was actually to Tonjes? Because it's hard. Because I think he stole it, but if he stole it, I think the pass was behind Kittle anyway. Like, so I don't know. I'm not positive.
Yeah, I think we heard that he stole it. Fantasy Doc says, I voted for Hartman since you were listed first. Did it right. Hartman still catching up.
I voted for Hartman too, so.
Damn it. That's a good trick. Now I'm like the bad guy. You're like, oh, now they all got to vote for you.
LED, what's up, brother? Said the fact that I was in BBG stream comments saying Jettison would be a 1-2 turn pick in 2026. Nice exposure there. And fading down to 8% post is lesson learned. Yeah.
I'm super glad that JSN fell to the 3-4 turn because I couldn't get there at the beginning of the 2-3 turn. And I actually got to like 4%. Because I was going to hard fade him. I got to like 4.5 or something. Because whenever he got down there, I started taking him quite a bit. Because I do think there's a good chance that JSN Tet, like that matchup could be something that you want. And for a while, you could get those two at the turn. And I took that a bit.
Yeah. Like I said, I made the note in my phone, no more fading third-year wide receivers. And also, I don't think it's a great idea to just fade, players in kind of the top end of drafts without good cause, whether it's, outside of like an injury or an injury recovery. It's like I probably at least wanted to have 4 or 5% JSN just to be kind of, on the right side. Javonte Williams going at pick 130. It's a little bit different because in that range, I feel like you can take harder stands on players. Yeah, but I feel like you also have to realize the opportunity cost there is so low. Like, what's the difference between grabbing a Javonte Williams and then 1 or 2 rounds later you get Tyler Algier? The opportunity that running backs have, like, to be a starter is a huge part of their value. Obviously, guys like Algier are almost a pure handcuff when it really comes down to it. Although we all like Algier, but like Javonte had that path, and it was just, I don't know why I couldn't see it clearly.
The problem with the Javonte fade is that the entire offseason, the coaches told us they like Javonte. And
know, right?
we didn't like Javonte, and we didn't listen because we didn't like Javonte, and the coaches never said that it was anything but Javonte.
So
Well,
true.
I think it was
That's what makes it so bad.
when it was like, how could Dallas be a better rushing setup than Denver? And Denver
That was
didn't
what I
work.
was thinking.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it was the offensive line. Going from that offensive line to the Dallas offensive line was like, I didn't really have a whole lot of any of them. I was under 6% on all three of them. So I think I might have got there on Miles Sanders because he was 180, 190. But
Right.
I didn't have much of two of them at least.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to quarterback and let's go.
We never did our cases for McCaffrey, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
we did.
we
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
do
we
this, yeah.
didn't.
We
Yeah,
got carried
let's
away
go.
with
Let's
the
go.
fantasy
Yeah.
dog and
Yeah, let's go.
Charles and Dark Side.
Because I'm sure you would love to do this.
All right, yeah.
Positive case.
Oh yeah, bull case for sure. So bull case on CMC. He leads the opportunity share. He has the highest opportunity share of any running back, and highest receptions, highest targets, obviously. But I think that could fade a small bit when like the other players come back. But he's always had like one of the highest opportunity shares in SF. And I think the difference is he only has 6 total touchdowns to this point, even with that usage. When the other players come back, that should mean increasing efficiency. So even if he's seeing a little less volume, I think the scoring potential will go up like significantly for him.
It makes sense to me.
And that's right.
Who Hames, your case?
Number one, I think we should not be on Christian McCaffrey purely because Hartman said SF and not San Francisco. But no, like honestly, I do think that we could see a little less target share there, but I don't know. It's a very hard case to make. They absolutely use them all the time. But like IU, Pearsall, Jennings, Kittle, all of these people were gone. All of them were gone. Like it's going to be very hard to get that much volume still. Like he's one of those guys that I do think that it definitely goes towards 20%, but it's going to stay high. But if the question is it going to stay where it's at, I don't honestly think so. 27.9% is a lot for a first round pick.
I almost wonder, does it have to do with the fact that some of the later first round picks and beginning of the second round picks are doing so poorly?
It's because the picks on the middle to the back half of the board have done better. So like if you go look at CD Lamb advance rate and then you take away Jonathan Taylor on his advance rate, it goes from him being like at the field to like 9% or something.
That makes sense though, right? I mean,
it makes total sense because Jonathan Taylor's 60%. And
CD Lamb, he's just carrying all their advance rates.
Yeah, because like everybody on that side of the board and like CMC, people that like CMC were taking him on that side. And a lot of those people were people who like Jonathan Taylor. So there's a lot of CMC Jonathan Taylor teams out there. And like a lot, and Jonathan Taylor, like where CMC went at 7, like that's kind of where the presumed tier ended with Ladd McConkey, AJ Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Achane, like whoever was left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And other than AJ Brown, those other guys kind of worked out, right? So it makes a lot of sense that CMC has a really high advance rate and that Puka actually has a lower advance rate because part of the season he got drafted the back half. I bet if you look at Puka's advance rate and you moved it from the beginning of the year when he was going at 8 and above versus the back half of the year when Stafford was never going to play again, I bet those advance rates are massively different too.
Yeah, no,
even the third round
pairing matters a lot. I think is what you're kind of getting at. It matters a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a tie to that one. I'm not gonna give a point on that one. I think I could honestly see both sides of it. Can players come back and take a little bit away from McCaffrey? Can he sustain what he has? Because he has more touches than any player in the game right now. And can his efficiency go down? Yes, the touches still should be there, but also his target share might go down a little bit. So I'm gonna call that one a true tie. And let's move it on. So that was Hartman, right? Hartman, you got CMC there?
Yeah.
So now who Hames? Do you want to finish off the running backs or do you want to move categories?
I don't want to think who that is. I'm going to go to quarterback. I'm sure I could figure it out if I really thought about it.
Good quarterbacks or bad quarterbacks?
Oh, this is lowest advance rate? We have lowest?
So there's good quarterbacks, top 4 advance rate, and then there's disappointing advance rates. I might have to give some clues on this one other than just the ADP, but the ADP should kind of give it away. We might save that one and do rapid fire on it because it's going to be a little bit harder to guess, but
I was going to say good quarterbacks, and we're going to go Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes is one of the top advancing quarterbacks. In fact, he is number 3 on the season so far. One Daniel Dimes, and wow, what a season he's having! What a year for the Colts.
Yeah.
Who Hames gets a point there for guessing correctly on Daniel Jones, and the floor is yours.
I'm going to take positive case. So Anthony Richardson, absolutely no chance to come back. Like they're even talking about trading him. As we've heard all last week, for some reason, all of a sudden, Colts are now a quote wagon. Everybody calls them a wagon for no reason, and like it's true. Like they're scoring 30 points a game, 30 plus every single week. Like I didn't think Michael Pittman was going to be averaging like I don't know his exact points, but it's like 17 points a game. Like he's getting touchdowns almost every week. Tyler Warren is an absolute animal. Dimes has the ability to rush, although he doesn't have to very often because he has also unlocked Jonathan Taylor in the receiving game. Like what can like being attached to Jonathan Taylor at all is positive, and Daniel Jones is absolutely there.
I was listening. I promise you, I was listening. I did run out for a second.
It's all good.
Well said. And these Colts, I mean, just look at the record. It speaks for itself. And what we've seen from Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones is enabling that, right? That's pretty big difference. Hartman, your case against Daniel Jones.
I think when you look at Daniel Jones by himself, like the offense is great and he's actually been really good in real life. I think in fantasy, he hasn't really shown a very high ceiling week to week. His highest passing average game, he's only gone over 300 once. And he doesn't throw for too many touchdowns, I think, just because Jonathan Taylor's so dominant on the ground. I think that just takes away his scoring ceiling most weeks. And I think he'll still have a good advance rate going so late, but I think it hurts if you're relying on him in a playoff pod or something like that, because he might not give you that true spike to, get through. And he has low floor some weeks. He's had like a 12, a 15, 14. That's a pretty low game if you're relying on him any weeks.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough case to make. I'm gonna have to go with Who Hames there. This is very hard to defend. Why these top quarterbacks won't continue on, especially when Daniel Jones' cost was free. If we had more cojones, we could have drafted Daniel Jones 100% of the time. He's so free. You could have taken him over Cameron Ward every time, and you would have made bank. In this scenario in this year. So
yeah, you didn't even need to stack them. Like you just needed them.
Yeah, you just needed him. So one of the notes I wrote down for next year is, late quarterbacks. And we didn't know Daniel Jones was the starter all summer. It took until the very end, but that's when we should have started to hammer him, and I think we did.
Yeah.
But
he was undrafted.
Yeah, he was undrafted. These late quarterbacks, especially ones where we've seen them do it before, like even unstacked. Would you take Daniel Jones unstacked as a QB3 on any given team you have right now over, XY player? Like almost always, right? Almost always he's more valuable than other players in that range. Also Quentin Johnson going in this range, but still when it all pans out, I think Daniel Jones even a higher advance rate than other flex players in that range too.
Yeah, definitely. And And yeah, it's just with a QB being so free like that and like just giving you consistent like middle ground even, like that's just worth that's gonna give you such a good advance rate going that cheap anyway. Because any of your teams that had like Kyler, Jaden Daniels, anything like that, like Daniel Jones just carried those through, right? And even if he didn't put up great weeks, like he might have carried your team through if you got him late or something.
For sure. LED saying
Right.
Dimes has a high rate as he's almost always a QB3 in builds. Got to 12%. Very nice. Stacked him with AD Mitchell and Alec Pierce. Yeah, mine is most stacked also with AD Mitchell and Alec Pierce, which are two of my highest drafted wide receivers, kind of funnily enough. And I also had like a pretty decent chunk of Anthony Richardson teams where he's like my QB3. So it goes both ways because Anthony Richardson's a 0 and he was more expensive than Daniel Jones when we didn't know that he was the starter, and he never was the starter. So maybe the preseason is what did Anthony Richardson in when he took that blindside sack and broke his hand from holding the ball for too long and not knowing how to check down. But at the end of the day, I think these late QBs, and especially the ones with a track record of being a starter, I think back to Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, year over year, these guys, they find a way to pay off. Even Matthew Stafford, and there was the injury concern with him, so it's a little bit, it makes sense, but I remember seeing drafts for Matthew Stafford went undrafted for a couple weeks there, and it's like the dude is just ripping it. Like he is, what back injury, right? I mean,
yeah. I fully bit whatever, because there was that one point in time to where it felt like Anthony Richardson was going to be the guy, right? And I fully bit. I moved Richardson all the way up to 140 in my ranks, and I took him
I did too.
every single draft because the upside potential was absolutely there. What we didn't know was that Daniel Jones was going to have, like, I think he has like 5 20-point weeks already.
Wow.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like
that's
it
right.
like he's not as consistent as Jalen Hurts, but he's very close. Because I was looking at it at BR today, and it's like he's literally like 22, 21, 18, 19, like in a row. So like he's not elite, but he's very consistent. And like, who would have thought? Danny Dimes. Like, and it's Danny Dimes, like a guy who's historically failed. And the Colts had given away 2 of their offensive linemen. Like, because Will Fries and the other guy went to Minnesota. And well, Minnesota now sucks on the offensive line. So maybe they were the problem.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly when it was in the summer. It's because it's been so long, but there was weeks where I was hammering Anthony Richardson as my QB3 in every draft, like you said.
Yeah.
Then as soon as we found out there was Daniel Jones, I'm hammering Daniel Jones. But the funny thing is I know there's a time box contest out there where I have like 50% Anthony Richardson exposure, and that's like whatever that is, like the Puppy 3 or the Pomeranian 2 or whatever. Like it's just so dead. Those teams, like I've been looking at my portfolio. It's like, hey, how come I'm not advancing a single team in this contest? Oh, that's the Anthony Richardson week or two. It's like that's just, to me, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
All right, so I awarded Huhames that point. We talked about Daniel Jones for a good bit there. I think was Huhames. Did you guess Daniel Jones? Didn't you?
Correct.
Hartman, do you want to keep it on top QBs or do you want to move to another category?
Could we do one of the quick low ones, the low QBs?
Yeah, if you think you can get it, I hope it's not too hard, but I'm realizing it's harder than the rest.
Well, it's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is the most disappointing QB in this kind of, pretend game.
Yeah.
We're looking at rest of the season advance rates. But the reason is, why I put this list together is because he's only that's like 16.7 is the field advance rate. And he's Josh freaking Allen. We were spending a second, or if you're very lucky, a 3rd round pick. Almost never a 3rd round pick. Almost always a 2nd round pick on this guy. So point for Hartman, getting Josh Allen there. and the floor is yours.
I think with Josh Allen, just like he gets better as the season goes. I think he's underperformed a little bit, but I think just as the season goes, he generally gets better. James Cook has taken a lot of work on the ground, but even last year he had a lot of rushing touchdowns. I think Josh Allen is going to blow up this week. Even obviously, it's going to be the blow up game of the week. But I think just his historical like touchdown rates are usually a lot higher than this. Especially like just passing. He hasn't had any major blow up games really this year except for week
Right.
1. And even that only 2 passing touchdowns. He hasn't gone over 3 all year. I think we, see that rise, and his yardage numbers have been pretty low as well. I think just we see that go back kind of to his norm. Positive regression, I guess, is the main case.
Yeah. Positive regression. I think it makes a lot of sense. And he always has that rushing upside threat on his ground game.
All right. We on the negative side for me, I guess.
Yeah, I have to give the negative side of why Josh Allen won't be a better contest advance than at the field.
I mean, he's at the field. Like that could easily go down. Number one, like the other quarterback going around him has missed a couple weeks, and they both had their bye. So, like, to me, that alone, and he's not over advancing right now, like that's negative. We have seen James Cook. They are absolutely feeding James Cook this year. And I believe they're going to continue to do that even in the red zone. All those rushing scores that we've relied on for Josh Allen for fantasy, they are going to be there, but much less. Like you'll get some, but I don't think this year he cracks 10. I don't think he cracks 10 this year. And that is a big part of why he's at 27. It's not yardage, it's touchdowns. He's not been Lamar with 800 yards every year. He's been 450 to 600 with 10 touchdowns. And I think the touchdowns regress, and that is going to make him a much worse quarterback overall this year. That was my theory going into the year as well. And which is wild because I wasn't well over on James Cook. So like I had part of it. I might have had part of it right, and then still didn't advance it correctly. So yay me.
No, it totally, could be a thing.
Yeah.
The touchdown rate. I'm giving a point to Hartman there, but I like the ability to kind of think on your feet there and like give a case against Josh Allen. He's expensive too. I mean, he was expensive. We've had all of these less expensive quarterbacks pay off, and like that plays into the equation too. Shout out to Binking in the chat. Shout out to James Young. How we doing, friends? We got Nick in here. Good to see you guys. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night. Thanks for joining.
Third round was disgusting.
Oh, what's that?
Third round was disgusting. Like
yeah,
JSN. It's
pretty
JSN,
rough,
right? Like what
JSN
else?
JSN or bust.
Like after McBride and Jacobs, like at that pick 27 that we all
they're more
like
end of the second. I know you could sometimes get JT or Jacobs if you're really lucky in the third. But that's not the most,
Right.
But yeah, make sure you guys slap that like button, not only here on my stream, but also on Who Hames and on Hartman's. Links in the description below. Make sure you're subbed to their channels as well. We go live every Wednesday night. We look at everything for the upcoming slate. We draft some teams, and we're still going to be drafting some teams coming up after we finish this game. We're in the middle of the advance rate game. We're talking about rest of season outlooks, and also we'll be answering your questions in the chat as we continue on tonight. But we're focused on finishing out this game because if we answer too many chat questions at the current moment, we'll never finish the game. But thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for supporting the streams. Great to see you all tonight. Hope you're having a great week. Let's get ready. Let's win now in week 9. So Hartman got the points there. Hartman guessed the player. We're going to turn it back over to my man, Who Hames. And which category do you want to go for now?
Go back to quarterbacks.
Yes.
Like good quarterbacks. And we'll go with Drake May. My man.
Drake May is not on the list.
Wow.
He's
not 116.
If I'm not mistaken, he is number 6. No, it was the top 4. Yeah, he's number 6.
The 116 got to be Dakota.
No. because he's the other one.
Oh, or the other one. Either way. No, because I don't think his average pick would be 99, right? He went late early.
At close it was.
Yeah, so Dak is number 6. This is top 4. We'll switch it back to
Oh,
Hartman. Hartman, do you want to keep it here or do you want to move on? Different category.
He
What-
just
I just guessed Dak.
Oh,
he
you
just
did?
guessed
Okay,
that.
I thought you did, but you're confirming. Final answer. He is the number 1 advance rate quarterback in all of Best Ball Mania. He is the guy that's winning you your league right now, and you could get him at a pretty decent price, which is I
Was he
don't
at
always get
116?
everything wrong. Sometimes I get things right. Better to be lucky than skilled, I guess. But I've got about 13% Dak in Best Ball Mania, and it feels pretty nice.
Well, the average pick thing is because before Pickens, he was going in like the 130s or whatever.
Oh, never mind. I was looking at average. I was using the average pick as closing ADP.
Yeah, see,
Like,
James, you got to follow the
that's-
green arrows that go to ADP
Yeah.
because that's my average pick, and it's all over the
Yeah.
place. But I drafted
That's
Dak
your
Prescott every single time if he
Yeah.
was, when he was in the 120s, 130s, essentially. And then I kind of slowed down. I wish I would have kept pressing on the gas, but I don't want to be underexposed to guys like Drake May. It's the Justin Fields that I kind of regret a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he might have saved it.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
win.
enough May, but okay. So Hartman gets the point there for the Dakota Prescott, and the floor is yours, sir.
I think pretty easy case for Dak. CeeDee Lamb just came back. Offense is humming. He's throwing 3-4 touchdowns every single week, pretty much. Like the offense is just humming. All their weapons look great. And yeah, I think their division even like not too bad on defense. Like I don't know. I think just overall everything's looking up for Dallas offense. Not for getting wins, but for the offense. It's all looking up.
I like it. Who Hames, your bear case?
The bear case on Dakota Prescott, huh? Like, it's the defense. The defense is really bad. If they when they go against good rushing teams, they may not be able to keep them off the field. Like the only way, like and like I get it, it's a thin case. But the only case you could make is that their run defense is that bad. And it is. I think they're third worst in the league. And play the old Mahomes game. Like, if he's not on the field, he can't be scoring points. The problem is that their whole division can't run the ball. So, like I'm all concede this point basically. Like that is the only direction you can go. Like he's been doing it with Tyler Brooker out. Like Booker's going to be back soon.
I mean, really, the Dak negative is probably just injury risk, right? But it's like you just can't really use that as a bear case.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say that. You could just say that on everybody, right? Like,
right.
It's just cheesy.
I feel like we've gotten to the point where, given health, of course, it's hard to see Dak Prescott's contest advance rate getting much lower. It can kind of like average down a little bit, but I think he's safely a 20+ advance rate quarterback this year, I think is what we're going to see. And he might, hold a top 4 or 5 position. He might just kind of stick around the top 8 or, 10 at worst, but I think it's going to be hard to see things change. So I'm going to you conceded the point, but I'm going to give it to Hartman there. But I think, fun to think through and
some of these bear cases are hard.
Really hard. That's
some of them.
here.
Some of them you have an actual case. Like even if you don't believe it, there can be a case. Some of them, like Gadsden, pretty hard to make that bear case.
Prescott, pretty hard.
Like pick 215.9, like pretty hard to make that bear case.
Yeah, for sure. And then last thing I'll say about Dak Prescott and my own team exposures, I guess part of my misguided thinking was to say, I'm going to be so overexposed to Dak, to CeeDee Lamb, even to Ferguson to some extent, and on George Pickens, that it makes sense that I fade the run game, Javonte, and then I took a ton of shares of Jaden Blue, but that's kind of the cheaper piece. So kind of ignoring that. But just like, I think the thesis that actually should have been come together is I should have at some point said, hey, you can't be so invested in a team and just like pick and choose the pieces. Like at the same time, it's like all of these Colts players are essentially better than their ADP. The Chiefs are doing relatively well. All of the Cowboys are doing well. You really need a team stack and just kind of go with it. So if you have like a strong feeling or some data, or you're like, oh, this is going to be the year for one of the for Matt Stafford, one of these guys, you got to take the whole team with them, because even if it doesn't work out every single week, that's kind of the case for a small sample size, like a 1 week scenario, like week 17. We already know Matt Stafford's humming right now. Like, would we be surprised if any given Ram had like a 2 or 3 touchdown game in week 17, like a Kyron or a Devontae or Puka? It's like, no. And obviously Devontae and Kyron and Puka are the expensive pieces, but like the fact that the offense is generating points and things, like you just have to, whoever is a starter on that offense could luck into the touchdowns. We're playing a game that's really touchdown dependent. That's kind of how I'm talking myself back into why I should have been more in on Javonte and that whole thinking going into like 2026.
Yeah.
And
it's proof that like over correlation's not that bad, because if you do have the team right, like having 5 players from Dallas doesn't feel bad.
Or like Bengals last year. Who didn't you want?
Bengals
right?
last year. Who didn't you want?
Right. Like, and it actually can help you through the spike weeks, get random pieces through to the best ball finals as well. So like, yeah, I think that's kind of the way, like something I need to do more of next year. Because
it was supposed to be.
Nick brings up a great point. Because I was thinking, I used the Rams example because it was easily defendable, but I was thinking Bills in my head also. There's parts of the Bills you'd want. Of course, you're going to want Josh Allen. Kincaid is fine at cost. Cook is doing great, but like Coleman, kind of a dud. Shakir can be fine. Not Ray Davis, terrible, right? So there's definitely like nuances to it. I wonder if it's as simple as just like the draft capital.
Well, it's more about like, I think you take the losses on Shakir and Coleman, or the Coleman and King, like Kincaid's been an awesome pick at 135 or whatever. Shakir's been a fine pick. Coleman has been a bad pick. But like, let's say you got Coleman plus Ray Davis with Josh Allen in one. But then another one, you have Josh Allen plus James Cook. Like, it leads you to more James Cook. Like, and James Cook is an absolute smash. So like, finding out who the good offenses are and just taking too many of those pieces kind of makes sense. Because like, if you were right on who the good offenses are, although you'll have a bunch of bad pieces, you will get the league winning pieces.
Yeah. And it just depends so much on cost. Right?
I think that's kind of how I view it, at least. All right, so
I was going to say there, the Chargers, right? You could literally draft the whole team of Chargers, and like they've all had their share of, so the whole over correlating thing. It's like pick any Charger. Of course, Hampton's injured, so that kind of throws a nail in it. But in the tire. But if you combined Hampton and what Vidal's done and assumed the running back of this team was healthy, like you kind of see the path. And then like the late tight end with Gadsden, if you can like over correlate and get there, that's kind of fun to do, just a rookie. But Trey Harris, I guess, is the counter argument. And then, what happens on the final stretch?
KLS, but then like Gadsden's in there, like so it would be interesting. I'm with Nick. I think looking at this at the end of the year will be very interesting. And then to actually go back to the previous year and do it as well, like to see if overcorrelating, like if it hurts you more than it helps overall.
I was gonna look. I'll have to pull it up, but like I know for past BBM winners, or overcorrelation has been like a strong trend.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Well, because like 2 years ago it was Niners, right? And then last year was Bengals.
Yeah,
it's kinda like
Bengals.
what
It's
you
been Packers. I think at least there's 2
Oh, yeah,
Packers
the Jordan
Yeah,
Love
for each
year.
team, right?
yeah,
If not
because there's
3.
Jaden Reed come on
Jaden
at the
Reed.
very end of the year, and you needed the other pieces to
Love.
get you there. And Dobbs that year had like a 25-point game or whatever in the postseason as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it
Good
is. It
points.
is like it's one of those things that like if you're like me and you've done 1,000 teams, like making sure that an offense that you do believe will be fine to have at least one team to be overcorrelated to protect yourself, like makes sense.
I remember this summer I was overcorrelating some teams in like
Not like every team, but one or
not
two.
every team, but
Right?
every
Yeah.
once in a while I'd be doing it.
Yes.
And I remember doing it particularly for the Ravens. It was pretty fun to do. Hasn't
Yeah.
looked great because Lamar's been out, so that hurts. But then I remember doing it for the Saints as well. And it was kind of easy to do for the Saints, and it felt gross. But now we've got Shuck starting, so hopefully those Shuck bags start to pay off a little bit. Who would have guessed that Jackson Dart, far and away, starting more games than Tyler Shuck after what we were led to believe all summer? You guys might have believed it. I thought Russell Wilson maybe had some more run in him, but wow.
And like for me, it was the Panthers. The Panthers were the low, like the easy offense.
Oh yeah.
To go into. All right. Let's try to finish the game because
let's get through
we,
this.
we still have to do 3 drafts. So
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's your pick, who Hames?
Who Hames?
Go to wide receiver. I don't even think we looked at wide receiver, or we did one, right?
I think we did one and then left it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did one and left it. So closing ADP 43.4. That would be the middle. So I'm going to guess there's a theme here, and I'm going to guess it's George Pickens.
You are correct, sir. This is George Pickens.
Yeah.
And because he's been stellar, for the first half of the year, he's been that guy, George Pickens, the highest contest advance rate for Best Ball Mania, almost 35% of teams. Somehow I'm making that look bad with my 32%, but let's not talk about me. Who Hames, the floor is yours.
So I'm going to be nice to Hartman here because he's been a pick and bull the entire time. So I will try to take the negative case.
Appreciate it.
I could just make you struggle. I don't know. What do you think, Chad? Should I make Hartman struggle and take the negative case, or what? What should we do? We'll let the chat decide. Which side do I take? Do I take the positive or the negative? First to 2 wins.
My vote would be you go the negative case and make him struggle. Make him sweat.
Make him sweat. All right. Yeah, we got one. Because I actually have a negative case that I don't necessarily fully believe in, but it's at least a case. All right. We'll take the positive sides on George Pickens. I mean, look at what we were just talking about. Talk about overcorrelating. We have Dak Prescott at the top. We got George Pickens, we got Pickens at the top. We have Dak Prescott or Ferguson and Javonte Williams all near the top. The only one not up there is CeeDee Lamb. And now the CeeDee Lamb's back, George Pickens is going to get more one-on-ones. He wasn't even getting as many one-on-ones. Yes, he won't get the slot stuff, but the reason he wasn't productive in the first 2 weeks is because in the first 2 weeks, he had 81 yards of penalties on PIs. 81 in 2 weeks. He led the NFL. Like, he had more yards and PIs in those 2 weeks than the entire league had as a whole, other than him. Like, they're going to stop doing that, and he's going to catch some of those, and he's made some insane catches this year, and that's not going to change. That's George Pickens. That's who he is.
Mm-hmm. Hartman, your case?
So, I mean, I think for George Pickens, realistically, he's playing with CeeDee Lamb just came back. So he's going to take George Pickens' targets away. Jake Ferguson, he just put up the goose egg, but clearly he's one of Dak's most trusted targets. I think that Pickens, like, it just his deep play, like his reliance on deep plays will give him pretty high variance, which I think could make it pretty hard to stay at a 34.8. Especially, he wasn't cheap. He went around guys who are pretty good, like Cortland Sutton, especially, I think has had a really good season, really good advance rate. So, compared to some of the guys who went around, DK Metcalf as well, I think could be hard to hold that high. And with CeeDee Lamb back, targets could go down a little bit, be a little more inconsistent.
I'm giving it to Hartman there. We're gonna give that one to Hartman. I think it was well said, kind of, realistic. Yeah. And we're gonna move it along.
Nah. What?
No, like I mean, you made a reasonable case. Like,
you made a very reasonable case.
You don't have to believe it, but like as far as a bad case, like in a bad situation, it's a good argument.
The score is Hartman with 14, Huhames with 12. So still very close. And we're going to rapid fire through the next one so we can get to our drafts. All right. So that was Huhames' guess, right? On George Pickens.
Yeah.
We'll give it over to Hartman now. Do you want to stay here or do you want to change categories?
I'll
change
category.
I know both of those, I think I know both of them.
I think I know the late one, but not the other one.
Yeah, I mentioned the other one earlier in a different conversation. I'm pretty sure it's somebody neither one of us have very much of.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll take this one. Yeah.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's got to be Bo Nix.
It is Bo Nix.
He just put up
his performance for the last
40.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks. It's Bo Nix. He's a guy you want to have. And I don't know. I think it's because Bo Nix got so expensive. I was more on the Fields side. I was more on the wait for Drake May, wait for JJ McCarthy side of the equation, wait for Michael Penix Jr. But now I'm wishing I had a little bit more Bo Nix. So point there for Hartman. And then the floor is yours.
I think I'm Bo Nix. I'll take the negative case on Bo Nix. I think that his advance rate could be a little bit artificially inflated from the 40-point game. 4 touchdowns, and he only put up 24 points. Which I mean that's a good game, but with four passing touchdowns, he's shown a pretty low floor, 13-8 on the season. I think that he's going to be pretty inconsistent. I think his price is gonna be what really does in the advance rate because the guys that went right after him are so strong with like Dak, Drake May. I think that tier has a lot of strong quarterbacks, so that'll pull him down from being like number 2 overall.
Mm-hmm. Huhames, your thoughts on Bo Nix and
on the positive side?
Yeah, your positive side for him.
So we seen this same thing last year. Bo Nix sucked for the first 3-4 weeks of the season. Week 5, 6, 7, he started to really look good, and he really started to open up his running and really started to feel the game, and he played very good the rest of the season. I think that that's just what we're going to get with Bo Nix. I think that the new Denver Broncos are basically just what Cincinnati's been for years. And I think that he's going to continue to cook. Like, they've kind of figured out how to use all of the pieces on the offense. Pat Bryant absolutely dominated in the blocking game. Troy Franklin getting touchdowns like crazy. Marvin Mims, they're finally using him as a low snap player that's there for explosives. That's what he's good at. That's what he always should have been. And Cortland Sutton is an absolute animal. Like Bo Nix, like now that he's started to run, like I just don't see I don't see him regressing that much. I actually think it could go up. Like, and that whole area was bad. Like the draft picks around there.
I'm gonna give a point to Huhames there. Keep it going and keep it rolling. I think it's a fair position to take. I mean, those big weeks are kind of hard to deny, but maybe there's some variance to it, like you were saying, and kind of going forward. There's other picks in that range you might want. especially to kind of like fill out your flex. That clears the category. There's a bonus question here, and
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna give it to Who Hames first. It's tough, but just kind of think outside the box a little bit. Let's see if one of y'all can get this. I'm gonna let Who Hames get the first shot at it. The bonus question is, what particularly do each of these 4 quarterbacks have in common through their first 8 weeks? They've got something in common. 4 QBs here, the 4 top advance rate QBs, and through the first 8 weeks, they've all got this in common.
They've all got a rushing score. I think Dak's got one.
I'm not sure if that's true, but it's not the answer I'm looking for. But very good guess. Very good guess. Maybe Dak doesn't have one yet. I feel like he had.
I think he had one. I think he had it.
I know the other 3 do. I mean, Daniel Jones, Mahomes, and Nick's probably all had one, and at the very first week, if not Nick's. It took a couple weeks, but for Dak, I'm not sure. But that's not the one I'm looking for.
Okay,
it's something a little bit more surface level, something a little bit more team related, schedule related. Hartman.
See, I was gonna guess like their top something in points scored, but I'll go like
that might be right. You can guess it. I don't care.
I'll go their top 5 in points scored. That's what I was gonna say.
And Nick got it. Yeah. They haven't had a bye week yet.
Yeah,
which to me definitely inflates their contest advance rate. If we're talking about contest advance rate, what could cause them to be these top 4 guys versus, some of these other quarterbacks who are kind of right there with them. None of these guys have had a bye week. So we had a bunch of quarterbacks who had a week 8 bye. So we're a little bit biased against, I think, those quarterbacks that all just came off that week 8 bye. But a lot of those guys also suck. So
actually, most of the players on all of these charts are there. Almost all of them.
Yep. So there is something to be said about when your bye week is and how that can impact the current advance rate we're looking at.
And the guy I'm going to guess, the wide receiver, has also not had a bye week. And that is Michael Pittman.
This is Sir Michael Pittman. Let me scroll down to it real quick. He is the 2nd overall wide receiver in terms of the current advance rates for Best Ball Mania. So we throw back up there. Michael Pittman. Wow. Whoa. Who saw this coming? Not me, apparently. But
not me.
Point for Who Hames.
Yeah, I could not even figure that one out. That was the one that was stumping me a little.
That was the one I said that I mentioned earlier. He's the only other player. Okay, so we can go ahead. I'll take the bull case.
So I've got a curveball for us because we're gonna do a rapid fire round.
We can just guess the rest of them and not do this. Yeah,
you can just say we'll get the points for the guessing, and then you just say, do you think bull case or bear case going forward? Which direction does he go?
I'm going to say bull case. He's obviously their number 1 receiver. They kind of mix everybody else in.
So he can maintain, being the top guy, being this guy. Over to Hartman. Hartman, do you want to take a guess at this wide receiver? Do you want to move to a different category?
It's one of 2 people.
Is it? I'm going to go Trey Tucker.
It is surprisingly not Trey Tucker. I think if I looked over there, Trey Tucker is down the list now. He's kind of in the top 15, 20 range.
We looked at Trey Tucker. That was stupid.
Well, he was my original thought, but then I remembered that Troy Franklin wasn't drafted until the very end. And I'm going to guess it's Troy Franklin. And
James Young says, is it Puka at ADP 215?
Last 2 years ago.
Time machine Puka.
And it ties in most of these charts are all tied in to the same few teams. So it makes sense that it would be Franklin with Knicks on the other
It is not.
Yeah.
Troy
It is not?
Franklin, I am going to
Oh.
uncover it since you both took a
Oh,
guess.
wow.
I thought,
is
I thought it was
actually-
confirmed already.
And I mean,
Yeah.
2%, so it might be a little bit hard to figure out who I had there, but it's a guy that I was drafting some of that he went undrafted most of the time. It's none other than Kayshon Boutte.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
A top 3 advancing wide receiver. Is late wide receiver goated? Is this the year that hit him with the gritty takes down best ball mania? It's looking like it could be with guys
I
like
hope-
Pittman and Boutte coming in strong.
I hope so.
He loves George Pickens too. He has like
yeah.
30%.
Hell yeah.
All
And a
of
bunch of JT.
yeah.
So we've cleared quarterbacks, we've cleared receiver. That was Hartman's guess.
No, that was
Let's
mine.
go back to running backs to finish this one out. Who, Hames? You want to take a stab at the running back?
I said Franklin. It's actually his guess.
Oh, sorry. Hartman,
Yeah.
your guess.
This is the last guy left.
For running backs, yes.
Yeah.
175.
Yeah.
Imagine you're me. It's pick 175, and you want 12% exposure to a certain running back that you think you know better than, and ends up I was correct.
Wait. Oh, wait. No, that's not right.
It's-
I don't. I'll pass. I don't
I-
know.
I didn't even take a guess at ADP, bro.
I seen it in the chat, but it was what I was going to guess anyway, and it's Rico.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah, Rico.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle, all summer long, I was saying, how could Rico Dowdle just rush for 1,000 yards and just had, was it 1,400 total yards on the Cowboys? How can this guy, Panthers have a good offensive line. We were pretty in on the Panthers as a team stack over correlating. So I ended up with a ton of Dowdle, and I'm pretty happy that I did. So point goes to Who Hames there, and the game is tied up at 15-15. That closes out the running back category. Who Hames, do you think Dowdle's advance rate goes up or goes down, or are you bullish or you bearish on his rest of the season outlook?
I think it goes up because they've already kind of hinted that they're going to do every 2 drives for 1 with Chuba now, because they wanted to make sure that Chuba got a chance to not lose his job. And now they've come out and said that Dowdle just looks better. Yeah, I would have never guessed Booty.
Yeah, no, it is funny. There's so few Boutte teams, but if you're in your managed league, I'm sure Boutte's been picked up, but you need to be starting Boutte. He's been on a roll lately. Let's go to tight end. Oh, we cleared tight ends, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we just didn't clear the bad QBs.
So we've cleared tight ends, we've cleared receivers, running backs. I'm gonna let y'all take some stabs based on ADP, but we'll get rid of them pretty quick.
Wait.
So this would go to, is it Hartman's turn?
Is it my turn or is it? Oh yeah, right. Because you got the last. Right. So bad advance rate. Healthy.
And it's not that bad of an advance rate. It's kind of at the field, but it's disappointing to you would want these guys to be a QB1 and they haven't really been, or Josh Allen has been, and some of these guys actually have been too. I actually think all 3 of these guys are good, but it's surprising that their advance rate isn't better.
One of them, I believe, was on the winning BR team as a quarterback 1 week.
I'll go Fields.
It is not Justin Fields, but
Baker.
You're close on ADP. I would stick to the ADP because it's pretty confusing.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is one of the disappointing advance rate QB so far.
You think he's negative because of the stacking?
I don't know what's going on.
Right?
Well, I mean, it's just Igbuka, right? Because all of the Evans is dead. All of the Godwin has never did anything. Nobody drafted Tez Johnson. Bucky Irving's been hurt.
Maybe it's the opportunity cost because, we know that in this range, you could have gotten Kelsey, Mahomes, Michael Pittman, and all of those guys have smashed.
Bo Nix was behind him.
So I think maybe it's just opportunity cost is what's dragging him down. Somehow I'm not advancing a single Baker Mayfield team, but I'm pretty underweight. I always thought he was too expensive, but he's having a good season. But he's still not paying off, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's because he was probably mostly paired with Evans and Godwin, who like Otten has had a couple games, but he's not been elite this year either.
So that one goes to Huhames. Hartman, do you want to take a stab at this final QB that's been disappointing? He closed at about pick 114, 115, going somewhat similar to Drake May, but it's not Drake May.
Close to Drake May, but not Drake May. Is it Goff?
It is not Goff. I'm happy to say. Well, I think Goff's advance rate's better. Because I've got a ton of Goff. Where's Goff? Goff is. We just had the bye, so that's gonna shift him down. Goff is ahead of this. Goff is like a couple points ahead of this.
Kugler's maybe right, but I'm actually not going to guess that what he's put in there. I think it's Jordan Love.
Jordan Love? No, it actually is Caleb Williams. And now I'm curious. I'm going to pull up to see where Jordan Love is on this list because I'm pretty sure Jordan Love's at a 20% advance rate, so he's actually much higher.
It's probably because everybody went Lovecraft.
That could be part of it too.
Really
combos. High. So Caleb Williams, which he seems like he's been killing it, but he's only just below the field advance rate. I think it's opportunity cost stuff in this range, or maybe like pairing partners, but I was surprised at that.
My number 5 overall team in the pre-draft drafters team is actually a Bo Nix Caleb Williams team because they've just perfectly correlated their good weeks.
So that's interesting. The last bonus question here. So no one got that one, and the score is Hartman 15, Huhames 16. So if Hartman can get this bonus question, he might tie it up and officially tie this thing. Take a look at the list. The top 4 advance rate QBs. Memorize these. Take a look at these names. We got it. The top 4 advance rate running backs. Take a look at these names. We got it. Mm-hmm. The top 4 advanced rate wide receivers. We look at these names and we're familiar with them. And then the top 5 advanced rate tight ends. Hartman, the bonus last question. What team is the common thread across the top advancing players across all positions?
Yeah. We done boys, the Dallas Cowboys, baby.
It is the Dallas Cowboys officially tying the game.
It's their year.
16. No better way to do it than to tie it up at the last minute. But we did
the
boys,
Cowboys year this year.
The overstacks of Cowboys would have.
It's the Lions.
Can you imagine? I mean, we wish it was the Lions, right? The way we were drafting. But we also drafted a lot of Cowboys. But if you just overdrafted the Cowboys, you'd be in a pretty good spot right now. You'd be advancing plus, 35% of your teams, it seems. So that's kind of the formula right now until things change. Yeah, what are the Lions right now? It's hard to know, but we have to.
Before this last week, it was actually Bijan ahead of CMC, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly. And that just completely tanked. All right, so I would suggest the dog bowl will be harder to actually fill. So you might
do that one first.
Probably see where it's at.
I'm gonna enter the dog bowl, and we're filled, so we're waiting.
Oh, nice. Sweet. That's perfect. That way we don't have to wait. We got 2 spots, so we get Taylor or McCaffrey, huh?
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah. You can't go wrong with that unless Hartman wants to root for the I think it's easily Candy. Nez, once again, I do one of these at night on Tuesdays.
It's always Nez.
Nez is always in the 101. He's always in the 101. I think he's taking Taylor at 101 as well over CMC.
He's destined to get that dog bowl ticket eventually.
He has I don't know how many he does a week, but he's got one and near the top every week. Like I think it's pretty much a giant tier after JT and CMC this week. The Giants' run defense is really bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Like I was going through that earlier on my stream today about
He takes McCaffrey. We're obviously taking Jonathan Taylor, right?
yeah,
correct.
that's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Easy money.
I think
Lightweight, maybe.
CMC Gibbs maybe you could debate a little, but JT, it's like I can take anyone over JT.
Yeah.
I will say that like I think that CMC game stack stuff is probably a little more fun. Although JT may be the guy you need. Like I kind of like Tyrone Tracy as a lower owned piece, but it's kind of hard to go running back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick 2 is
Wait.
really nice this week. And like I think pick 2 and like pick 9. Like I think that after Gibbs, I think it's the 4 wide receivers, not Bijan, not that like I think there's 4 wide receivers right there that like and I think I take Chase last. Like I like Puka, I like Amon-Ra, and I like Rashee Rice ahead of Chase.
Right.
Assuming like until we find out that Flacco's healthy, and then you put Chase first, right? Like
It matters.
it absolutely matters. Like that's how I've been playing it at least. Like if I'm underweight Jamar Chase this week with Flacco because I made that stand, I'm okay with that. My face, it's gone.
A little bit bigger here. Yeah. So JT, just insanely lucked into that one. I'm gonna pull this over here. Take a look. I'm just kind of referencing the schedule matchup. I mean, at Pittsburgh is totally fine matchup, right? There's no need to fade or to worry about the Colts this week.
So I was looking at it earlier today. Pittsburgh is 19th against they're 19th best or 19th worst against the run. So they're actually above like average against the run this year. Not that against who not that it matters with JT, right? But the problem is that they are second worst and like second worst by far against the pass. And they're like fourth worst versus tight ends and second worst versus wide receivers. So they're really bad versus wide receivers. I don't. They're basically a pass funnel at this point. So, that's just something I noticed, and it's like the Giants are like third or fourth worst versus the run. So like there are reasons to have CMC over JT. I think at full PPR, I probably am CMC over JT, but at half point, I think you just like it's so hard to not like JT.
Yeah, it is. It is hard for me to get there. I mean, I know I can see it. It's like, just take your guy if in these top running backs. We see Gibbs go ahead of Bijan Robinson here even. So it's kind of get your guys, make your stake your claim.
So the
Patriots
there are
defense.
6 or 5 teams that are very, very good versus the run, and it's Patriots, Lions, Packers, Browns, and Rams. I just found it again.
Yep.
And they're all 17.1 and under, and that's for total position. So, like, I am going to have a hard time getting to Bijan, and I'm a Bijan bull. I'm going to be underweight. I'm going to be at like 8% Bijan this week. And if it crushes me, that's great because I had 14.5% in pre-draft best ball on DK. So we good.
Right.
And I actually have Puka at the 103 above Gibbs.
I could see it. Yeah. We're coming up pretty quickly here. The quarterbacks are starting to go. Warren goes off the board.
Look at the board. Like, look at the running backs that are left.
Yeah, that's because that's where the cliff is, I think, for me. I'm actually not really interested in Chase Brown and chasing his best week.
Until we have news on
I'm not interested
Flacco.
in chasing up Tracy. I would rather wait on these later guys if we do go 2.
All right. Hit.
Yeah, I agree. I like the later guys a little bit better.
So I'm interested in these wide receivers in this range, or we just could take a tight end like
Hit.
Kraft.
I like Rome.
I like Rome.
I
If
also like
he's there.
Rome, yeah.
I don't know if he'll make it to us.
I like
and
Lad a
we'll-
lot this week too.
We'll see if Nez lets us have him. So hold on. We could just take Bowers here if you want. And
We are on the clock.
like we either take Rome and push to see if Nez lets us have Bowers, or we just take Bowers and be happy with whatever wide receiver we get.
I don't mind either. Bowers or Rome.
I'm cool with going Rome. I think I'm going to slightly
Yeah.
into Rome.
Yeah, because like it's
Okay.
not like Gadsden's bad, and like some of the late tight ends are fine, but I do think there's kind of, I think after Laporta it does get kind of ugly. But if we could get either Ladd or Gads or Bowers here, I'm very into that.
Yeah, I think there's a good shot we can get one of them almost certainly. Bowers or Gadsden.
And-
Obviously, Ladd could be there. Pittman goes. Nez is pretty savvy. He takes Metcalf. He gets the bring back there in his own game. We don't have the option to go DK for our bring back on Jonathan Taylor. But I think do we feel like we want Brock Bowers or Ladd here?
I
think Bowers.
Bowers. Like he was a full participant today, and that from what I read, he apparently actually looked healthy. So
Yeah. So let's have the best running back, a top wide receiver who, has had better weeks, but started off very strong this season. And apparently every single Bears receiver is not practicing today. What's up with that? And then we get Bowers, who should be coming back, hopefully healthier than ever.
Swift didn't practice either.
Yeah. What do you guys read into that with like, is Odunze concerning at all that he might miss? Or is it just like,
I don't think so.
I read into it that they know that Luther Burden's not going to play with a concussion, and they don't want a chance not having more people out.
Yeah, I think so too. Or I think I pretty much agree with that. I don't think Rome is at too much of a risk of missing, and I don't think Zacchaeus is either.
Yeah.
At least how I heard about it, it didn't sound like too much of a risk.
Yeah. So by the way, Cincinnati is by far the worst against every position.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close. They are like by far the worst against every single position.
What are you guys' thoughts on ETN this week? I guess they're going up against coming off a bye.
The Raiders.
And then going up against the Raiders is kind of a decent spot. They're a favorite on the road. I think ETN's totally fine, like a low, mid RB2. He's just kind of a limited ceiling, but we've seen it in the past. We just haven't seen it this season, like his explosive big games. So maybe it's coming. Maybe they're just not using him as much as they could.
Yeah, I haven't fully got there yet, but I understand. I think it's a good spot. I do think that this could be the week that they do put Tootin in a little more. It is the post-bye rookie bump. I don't think that it's going to be like a full go. And weirdly, we've heard I've heard some possible like ETN getting traded stuff, which I don't understand. I don't think that those sources are necessarily correct, right? But like, I've heard that maybe a team has called about him or something. I don't know. Like,
that's interesting. You know what's surprising me right now? How is Gadsden still available when guys like Jamison Williams, even Nico Collins going off the board, Tyrone Tracy? It's like, are we just trying to like wish cast the future? Or are we not just like seeing what's right in front of our eyes? And then he goes, but
fully tight end, people don't want
to be honest, if Brian Thomas makes it all the way back, are you guys interested? Or are you
not sure? Not personally.
Okay.
I'm
just curious.
If you guys are in, I mean, I'm not like a giant protester, but I'm not a BTJ Truther.
I don't know where I'm at with him. I think like in Wildcat, I'll take 3 or 4 shares.
Who's our QB this week? Are we going to take a naked QB and not worry about it, or do we target Caleb?
Just go
we
look.
can just get Caleb.
Yeah, just go look at what we have left.
Because Caleb goes around our next pick.
We could do Caleb or naked dart. Like I really
or
like
even
naked.
Daniel Jones, and then just say it doesn't matter that it's running back and QB.
I mean, naked dart is really good this week versus San Francisco.
I'm interested. So I think we push QB past Nez. He's probably going to take Daniel
he's
Jones.
Gonna take, Dimes. Yeah, for sure.
We'll take Dimes most likely.
Yeah.
We have access to Rico Dowdle. Tough defense against Green Bay, so no doubt about that.
Yeah, they're very good against the run.
I like
Kareem
Jordan
Hunt is in a run
Addison.
funnel and Pacheco's out.
You say, who'd you say?
Addison.
I like Addison.
Or
I could see Addison. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Are we sure about are we sure about if McCarthy's going to be good enough to keep it afloat?
That is concerning.
I mean, Addison could break a screen or something, I'm hoping.
If we need to make a decision, Caleb or Dart. If we go Dart, I think we take Wandale.
Oh, Wandale is kind of interesting too.
So, I'm fine either way.
But we could still get Wandale. We could still get him.
Yes, but we won't get Dart with him. So we have to make.
I'm cool with pushing QB because I feel like he's going to go Dimes. He might take Dart, but
yeah.
Right,
so it's either
Addison
plus Caleb, or it's Wandale plus Dart.
Well, we can because you think Wandale will go before our last pick.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's one.
Addison.
Second.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no, I was perfectly fine with either one. I'm just saying, if you click wide receiver, he's 3 or 4 down. There was no way that. And I mean, we could take Dart and just take a Slayton as well. Slayton did have a big play. Did he get?
I can't draft Slayton.
We could go Dart and then go real crazy Theo Johnson. Bully him at tight end
that would
for
be
the flex.
pretty bold. He does love his tight ends, and Bellinger's out, or apparently with the neck.
I don't want.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't want double tight end.
I don't either.
Honest.
It's a little bit too bold for a single.
Caleb kind of feels like the play here.
Do we think that Geno Smith coming off of a bye as a scroll down has any viability with Brock Bowers or even McCarthy, or is that just an avoid and let's go ahead and get Caleb?
Yeah, I think we get Caleb.
Jags defense is nice. I don't want Geno.
Yeah, and
I'm cool with the naked. I'm cool with the naked Dart too. Yeah. Either one's fine.
The Cincinnati matchup, though, we talked about it. Though, this is a target for sure, right?
Yeah. So let me read through this. Quarterbacks against quarterbacks. So Dallas is by far the worst against quarterbacks. So 25.7 average points against Dallas at quarterback, but they're not on the slate. Steelers 22.1. So Danny Dimes is really good. Giants 21.7, Baltimore Ravens 21, Jags 21, Commanders 20.5, and the Bengals at 20.1. So they're the 7th best. But if you look at wide receivers, the Bengals are lower on that. They're where are they at? Why are they so low? It's because they're so bad against.
So in a contest of this size,
but Trey Hendrickson got hurt last week.
5,200 entrants is not that big. Do you think it's important for us to scroll down to differentiate, or do you think our team by nature is already differentiated enough from ADP?
So the ADP moves so much in this contest. Right. I'm not that worried about it. And you just want a top 3 team, or you have to get a top 3 team, right?
Right. So do we want to heavily overcorrelate the Bears or maybe the Colts? I feel like we don't want any other Raiders or Vikings at this
hit wide receiver real quick. I mean, if DJ Moore makes it all the way back, we could just go double stack. I don't know, because Chad Candles got a dog bowl seat with 5 point some points from one of the
I
guys.
like the idea of the DJ
And
Moore
they
double
are
stack.
banged up, but
I think it's kind of interesting if Caleb is that guy, he'll probably do it through the air, or
hit
he can
run,
run. He can rush too, but
and they hit running back, so we can look at the running backs that are
I will
available.
say, we talked about Butte being an advanced rate guy. Look what he's done over the last 3 weeks. He's consistently had over 50 yards and a touchdown. That's kind of hard to keep up because he's like a deep bomber kind of guy, but he's been on a winning streak.
I took him in the 5th round in my dog bowl because I had May.
DK has been surprisingly good the last 2 weeks. I don't want to trust a rookie is kind of what it is, or the Titans.
Let's look at running back to see if there's anybody viable at all before we commit to wide receiver. Because there's a player here that I'm very, very interested in.
Is it Kyle Monangai?
That's actually who I took on the last one. I don't like him stacked with Caleb though.
Right. Is it?
I don't know if any. I guess nobody in here is playing. It's Tajay Spears. Tony Pollard didn't practice, and Spears just put up 15 points.
Yeah, Spears has been
I think that's an absolute smash pick if we get him at the very last pick. I don't know if you guys agree.
Against the Chargers,
I'm going to guess the guy who took Ladd right before us will take him. Oh, they can't. They have 2 running backs.
So we could do Loveland, which would be crazy. I don't think we should do that.
Yeah. I guess Wandale will make it back.
Wandale's still there.
Yeah. And if we don't get Tajay, Woody is actually a fine pick.
Yeah, I probably still like the DJ Moore the most, but
that's kind of where I'm
at.
at.
Tajay,
okay.
Him and Tajay, I think is.
Are we fading Sutton against Houston and just saying it's not a good week?
Yeah. I'm fine with DJ. I personally prefer Tajay. Nick's saying that Pollard does that a lot on Wednesdays, but there's also trade rumors the teams. I've heard some trade stuff about Pollard as well, and they're going to be trailing. So I think that Tajay will be in there a lot more while they're trailing.
That kind of beats me on DK as well. I mean, look, 11 targets a lot, or 12 targets, 11 receptions the last 2 weeks. Pretty strong.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the DK pick either.
I'm fully one of the top 2. So
yeah, we're gonna have the option for one of the top 2.
Which one? Whichever one you guys want.
Is it a skinny stack or a double stack better? When you think of this tournament and what's been winning,
and pure upside, I think the skinny stacks have been winning. So, but
I'm on the fence. Hartman, what's your call on this?
I don't.
I know you like DJ Moore. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I don't like DJ Moore, but yeah, let's go DJ. I mean, for this, yeah, DJ Moore.
Let's let it ride. Let's just say, hey, this is the week where Caleb, shows his stuff and just lights it up.
I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. I do think that we have seen Caleb have 5 touchdown games, and if he has a 4 touchdown game, both of them are probably getting a touchdown and 40 yards, right? So if we can get, you basically need 30, an average of 16 points or so per. I think most weeks the dog bowl seat, it's 135 or so. Let me look it up since I do one every week. But go ahead and go over the team real quick, and I'll look this up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do think Pearsall is out this week potentially. We haven't seen him playing. DK doesn't have target competition and negative game script. Would be 2% owned. Kind of a good case for DK. I'm interested to get him maybe on some DK. Especially in these 6-person drafts, a DK scroll down is an ultra good scroll down in a super large field. I think in this one though, because it's not a huge field, it's only 5,000 people. I kind of DK is not even that big of a scroll down, honestly, but he is going to be low owned. I think we can get away with something like this. The team is Caleb Williams, double stacked with Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. We've got Jonathan Taylor as our first pick, holding it down, the anchor. Jordan Addison, our second wide receiver out of our three. And then we have Brock Bowers, who actually gets drafted here as the tight end 4, if you can believe that, which seems about right. The risk, the reward, but we're playing for full upside on this team. I think obviously it always looks good the minute after you draft it, unless you mess something up. But I think this team has a definite story of how we get there. It's Jonathan Taylor is who we thought he was. Caleb Williams has the best game of the season so far against one of the worst defenses in a true shootout scenario where he's utilizing his top pass catchers. And then we need Jordan Addison to break one off for a touchdown, most likely. Brock Bowers could be the top tight end on the week, and I think it's easily possible.
So 3 weeks ago, you needed 123 points to get there. And that week, there was a team that got there with 3 wide receivers. Not last week, but the week before that, you needed a lot of points. You needed 140. We probably have no chance to get there if it's a 140 week. But last week it was 135. So, and all of those weeks, one of the teams that a team that made it last week, it was at tight end, but they had 2.8 points at tight end. They had an 8.9 points at wide receiver. So, you can dodge a single low score if you have the guys who matter.
Yeah. You just never know. Is it a week, like you said, where you have to have one certain guy, or is it a week where you can get there a bunch of different ways? And in a tournament that's this small, and I keep saying small, even though it's 5,000 people, but, we think about these other battle royales that are 2, 3, 4 times as big, 10 times as big, right? So
let's say that Rome or DJ Moore is unhealthy. I'm fully in on. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I have heard that if Rome misses, we have to swap with the wide receiver, since that was a wide receiver slot specifically.
Yeah.
Since it drafted earlier, he drafted straight to a wide receiver slot. DJ Moore drafted to the flex. So if DJ Moore missed, we can flex it with Tajay Spears or Kamara.
Yeah.
But if Rome misses, we
Or
have
DK.
to replace it with a wide receiver. So we could do the DK thing if you really wanted.
Look what Nez did. Nez was so inspired by our double stack that he went and did a Daniel Jones double stack with Pittman and Downs, the Metcalf
I like it. I like
McCaffrey and Kelsey. Pretty fun team.
Which the fact that Nez is going elite running back, and I actually think if you have the first or second pick this week, I've been getting to a lot of 3 wide receiver builds this week. It's not that I don't think that. I think that if it's not McCaffrey or Taylor, I think we could just have a week that it's 23, 24 points with a bunch of the running backs. Not that that's a low amount, but that means there's a chance that 3 wide receivers absolutely smash the slate and is what you need. So I'm doing a few more 3 wide receiver builds this week than usual in the BRs. And since it's even thinner in the 12-mans, I kind of like it. And JMO this week, Bink, is going to absolutely smash.
Yeah.
Or
Hartman, does it make you feel better that our team and Nez's team is the exact same thesis with just different players? It's like the QB double stacked, a bomber touchdown dependent big play wide receiver in the middle, a stud running back, and a stud tight end.
Yeah, I mean it proves that we're sharp. I mean, that proves it.
It proves something.
One thing I was gonna say, do you think Trevion should be getting more consideration?
Yes.
Didn't Ramondre just?
I was just telling everyone to drop Trevion like a couple days ago. Now I'm saying, okay, well, Ramondre's banged up. Is Trevion very viable?
He finally got a little bit more carries. Did fumble though.
Yeah, they still. They
brought in loves that though. He fumbled.
I was gonna say that's just like a way to get to
more touches on the Patriots.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The way Ramondre.
Let's queue up for a BR.
We should have queued up already.
Let's queue up for these 2 BRs, and then I'm going to go straight to bed. I'm starting to feel it.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can feel it. Some Phil Collins.
So, by the way, if you are listening on any of our channels, if you could go to all the other channels because all three of us are streaming it right now. And if you're not subbed to each of us, go ahead if you've enjoyed the content because this channel or this show actually rotates every week. So that will allow you to definitely see it every single week. And also, at least smash the like for everybody. It'll help out. And sorry, we haven't been able to get to as many questions as usual. Usually we can. If you guys have questions, ask them now before we head out.
This was not the chat Q&A that it usually is in the first hour and a half, but we had fun.
Yeah. No, I had a great time. I tried to answer what I could in the chat.
I appreciate that. You guys were both helping out a little bit in the chat. Yeah.
That game was great.
I think it was fun.
Just something, change it up, try to get us thinking differently. It's I feel like sometimes we have different takes. Sometimes we have the same take. So being forced to have a take that you don't necessarily believe in can also be good for everyone to hear. And then we all kind of think about it.
I kind of like the 5. I like the 5. So the 1 and 2 spot are awesome because you get JT or CMC, but I feel like there's a top 10 and like a clear top 10 players. So
wow.
So
JT going at 3.
Yeah, that is spectacular.
That's a fun combo.
Yeah, somebody's gonna get something really cool. I actually have a JT. It's a CMC. Josh Jacobs, Josh Allen team, and like it's not correlated, but it's got. I'm personally Puka.
Mm-hmm.
Puka at I think he could easily be the 103, but I take him 104.
We're cool with like another tier of running back. We might be able to get Josh Jacobs or James Cook.
I love going to. I love going to receiver here. Like I think the running backs are actually deep enough. Like Vidal's matchup is insane. The Titans, and half the time he comes all the way back. Like I would be fine with either one of those two or Jacobs if you guys want.
Bijan Cook's kind of fun, but I know it's a tough matchup for Bijan, and then also the Chiefs are a tough matchup too. Do you guys want to go Amon-Ra or Rashi?
I kind of like Rashi, but
because of the lack of faith.
They're both.
I like Rice. Rice.
They're both great picks. Like
we can do Rice.
If you're gonna do volume, you just want to make sure to have that both combinations. I've got both combinations already. So in the Wildcat, not in the BR.
You already had 50% Amon-Ra. Had to get you a new guy.
Hey, Amon-Ra is the guy who helped me get to 6th place week 2. Yeah. It was I've doubled that stack down too because it was a Jahmyr Gibbs Amon-Ra with Jared Goff. I did that twice. One time I got Goff, one time I didn't. So, and yeah, Jackson Dart I think could just be the quarterback 3 this week or 4. I think it's Mahomes, and then I think it's Josh Allen, and I think Jackson Dart is very close to next.
Yeah, with the rushing upside for sure.
Like for the dog bowl because of what we were doing, yes, Caleb made more sense. But the Niners defense is just absolutely decimated.
Mm-hmm.
And Dart's not 100% drafted. You could get him like almost in the last round of every draft. So, like, I really like that.
I'm open to Mahomes goes right after we take Rice, so that stack's gone. Obviously, we have the Stafford stack that we go with. Clyde says, would you trade Dak and Igbuka for London and Rome, given you have Lamar? I would say maybe yes, given you have Lamar, but London's hurt. Rome we like. Igbuka we also like.
If it's I like Igbuka over those two.
Yeah, I think Igbuka's
I
was thinking it was
if it's and, I make the trade. If it's I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
for sure.
That's what I was thinking too. Then.
Yeah.
We were coming up with 2 more picks. We see Josh Allen go. We see
So-
Tyler Warren go, which he's been consistently the number one tight end, it seems.
He should be. The Steelers are horrendous versus tight ends. They're not the Bengals. So the Bengals, do you see the stat on the Bengals versus tight end?
They just give up everything, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to go running back here before? No, because the guy on the turn already has a running back. We need to not take a running back first.
Unless we want
to
to double tap.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Do we want to go Kraft or do we want to go Kyron, Kimani, or Swift?
I think we take Kimani first. Do we want Kyron plus Puka?
Kimani gone.
That's tough. Yeah.
And Bowers is still there, by the way.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's quite
like you can get Bowers in the 6th. I think we take 2 running backs here.
Is it Kyron and Swift, even though we have Puka?
I think it is.
Yeah, Kyron.
Take Swift first, then we can decide. Like, hit RB then, and let's see what all is available.
Genty's fine. Jacksonville's kind of tough. I don't love Chase Brown. Jalen Warren's fine. Etienne's fine. That's kind of the end of my list. And then you're kind of digging deeper. I like Montgomery. I like Dowdle. I like Hunt just fine.
I'm actually fine with Tucker Kraft as well. Carolina is. Go ahead.
Grab tight end here, and then grab RB at the end.
And what do we imagine for QB? We're gonna maybe go either naked or just Stafford.
We have options. Like, especially if we take.
We could go Jordan Love too with Kraft.
Yeah,
it's true
Kraft,
now.
Like it opens it up.
Okay, I think we're in a good spot.
We're not against taking another wide receiver and stacking it at the end too, right?
Sure. I mean,
or just naked dart.
I think it's kind of a weak
naked dart is fine.
Kind of a weak link to stack the third receiver, but I'm sure it's possible. Like this drafter here in the 6th spot, it goes Bijan, Cook, Gadsden, and Herbert. That's kind of fun. He's gonna have to, 30 and 31 is not the worst spot to take 2 receivers, but he has to just get lucky, I guess, that someone falls to him.
The stacking third receiver thing, like I heard Overzet say something that made a lot of sense, and it's stacking the later receiver kind of makes more sense because the top receivers have a better avenue to get there without by themselves. So like if you're taking a third receiver, getting if it's a Jordan Addison, if you take JJ, Addison's not getting there probably unless JJ McCarthy's having a monster game. Right? As often. So or if JJ McCarthy's having a monster game, that's definitely going to bring Addison along with him, right? So it kind of makes more sense because your elites are just going to get the elite stuff. Now that's not saying to always do that, right? And it depends, and that's what it says. It depends on how hard your wide receiver one smashes. Like if Puka has 3 touchdowns or Rice has 2 touchdowns, you probably want that guy, right? That you want to stack. But if not, let's say we take Michael Pittman and Danny Dimes here, right?
That makes a ton of sense to me, actually.
Pittman's
gone, but
Pittman
if he was there, right?
Yeah,
Drake May, Kayshon Boutte.
You could. I mean, at this point, do we just take the ADP fall on Kyron? This is insane.
No, we have to, right? If he's there.
Yeah, Kyron. I think we have to, and then we could. And then we automatically get Stafford, because Kyron has caught passes for touchdowns before, right? So if we take Kyron, we just take Stafford as well, right? Just make a big bet on the offense.
I think that does make sense to me. And you do it over Love, and you would do it over Danny Dimes naked or Dart naked.
Well, probably May would be the naked pick, right?
May is there. That's where we're starting to get. What do we do? Because May's been just so consistent, and you don't have to have him stacked. Do we want to go May or Stafford here?
Stafford.
Either Stafford or actually Dart. I like Dart more than May this week.
Okay. I think it's got to be Stafford the way we played it with Puka and Kyron to beat everyone, right? If we want to win,
probably with the double, yeah.
I think that's the way to do it. I do.
We're saying this is Stafford's year. He's not quite putting up the MVP numbers. He's not quite having his career best year, but he's like within, he can almost touch and like grab it. He's like that close. He's putting up. He's gonna have a game. I guess from the QB position in this large of a tournament, you really do need to have either the one or two, maybe if it's close, top 3 tight end. But we're just saying, or sorry, not tight end, QB. But we're just saying like Stafford has one of the weeks that he's kind of already showed us. And Puka back, we know Kyron can catch the ball. Kyron's one of the only running backs with 2 receiving touchdowns this whole season. I think there's one other guy. The name's escaping me, but I could look it up.
And like before this year, they really haven't thrown to him a lot. But this year they've thrown to him a little more, which makes me very sad because that was supposed to be Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah.
And by the way, Paulino, I am also very bearish on Kyron Williams for the season. So, but like,
yeah, I mean, right there,
maybe he could help. I mean, if Kyron Williams buries us in the best ball season, but wins us, like, lets us split 10K between the 3 of us, like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I looked it up. I had my little spreadsheet there. It's Kyron Williams and Ashton Genty, who I thought it was. I should have just said it. Okay. Those are the only 2 running backs who've had a game with 2 receiving touchdowns in the single game. So it's not crazy, but it is kind of weird. It's kind of funny that Kyron he did that, but he's involved.
Bink is very into JMO this week. And he's like 50-50 on the calls that he makes that are the players he really likes. So Bink, by the way, is actually like a DFS. Like, I don't know if he's a pro, but he's won the Millie more than once, I believe.
The Bink King.
Yeah. I know he's won it.
Chat.
I know he's won multiple tournaments. I know that for sure. So sometime twice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's won the DK Millie. I don't know which one.
Paulino knows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was laughing too, because I think I'm at 2-point-something% on the year. Like I was at like 2.1%. Please, God.
Yeah, for real.
Please.
Please.
We had the 2 best Rams pieces, pretty much.
Yeah, we have the 2 best Rams pieces, and Stafford has already put up 28 points in a week. The difference is, and this is like something I should have probably brought up before, we didn't have elite quarterbacks on that slate, though, right? Like the one that Stafford put up to 27. Like, we didn't have an elite quarterback put up an elite number. We didn't, like, we've not had very many 30-plus point games from quarterbacks other than the one Bo next week on the main slate.
And then like week 1, right? Josh Allen went crazy. Or that game went crazy, right?
Yeah, but he was Sunday night. So like
so he wasn't on BR, right?
Yeah, he wasn't on the BR slate. I had him on drafters, which includes the night game, because it was him plus Derrick Henry. And I had both of them, and I got 5th or 7th or something.
So we got number 2 again.
The number 2 spot. We got lucky. We're up next.
Yeah, so Rashid Rice? No.
Maybe he comes back around. So, JT,
sounds good to me. Yeah.
I mean,
I think we take JT. And I do think that there's and I don't know if you guys will want to do this, but I think there's a good game, like a good chance that like JT or CMC just nukes the field this week at running back. A lot of the better running backs don't have the good matchups, and a lot of the lower running backs have the better matchups. I'm not positive that it'll be a 3 wide receiver week, but I think it's more likely than usual for it to be one.
Sure.
And you look at the elite wide receivers we have this week. T. Higgins isn't being drafted.
Which is kind of wild. The pace he's on with Flacco.
Yeah.
So
like you're gambling that Flacco is healthy, but like DK Metcalf has not been drafted in 1 or 2 of these that I've done. Because I was building something else out. Yeah, and like JMO could be down there. Because like I actually don't mind Worthy this week or even Kelsey. Like if Mahomes makes it all the way back to us, like I think just taking a naked Mahomes and getting somebody matters.
We've
Yeah.
played 2 double stacked quarterbacks. This could be the time where we do end up going with one of Dart or May. It was
I'm
kind
fine
of
with
weird
that
to
too.
see them all available there in the last round. I wasn't really expecting that, but given only 6 quarterbacks go, it may, it's not
Well,
that
like
crazy, but
I mean, you have
And the
Mahomes and
Kyron
Josh
thing
Allen that
kinda.
goes every time, and Herbert goes pretty much every draft. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's 3 of them. And like you look at the quarterback slate, like it's not incredibly deep for what is it? Dog Bowl, the 12 mans. But for this, like there's like 8 awesome picks at quarterback. Like Caleb Williams will be very, very low owned, I think, this week.
Yeah, it feels like quarterback, like I
Is
don't know,
the
quarterback's just so deep for a 6-man always.
Yeah,
Or like especially
it's the
So
this
place
week
to
with
scroll, right?
so do we want to go
James Cook for
I
sure,
don't
right?
like James Cook this
James.
week.
You don't because of the
Nah,
matchup.
that's Homer. That you're being a Homer.
No, the KC's like way good against the run. But
I
James
just
Cook
think
is
he's in a
way
we
good
tier
at
of his
running.
own.
we can do it.
We got to do it, right?
Well,
Yeah.
we can do it. But
That
I will
game's going for a
say
60-point total.
I just
like
think it's his
I am taking some James Cook,
right.
but KC is like in the tier of like very elite versus running back based on the numbers.
I just think we could have the RB1 and RB2 on the week. And I know KC is good against the running back. I think it comes down to touchdowns, though. If James Cook can we've seen him do it before. The Bills
Right.
are going to put up points. I don't think it's going to be a low scoring game. Could honestly be wrong.
I
but,
do say if Mahomes makes it, we take Mahomes for the bring back.
and then
And
we
then we can do the work.
backstack him.
With
Yeah.
like Kelsey maybe?
No, we
Or
can't.
Worthy? Oh, Worthy.
No, we can't. Like he's gone, so you
Yeah.
can't do
Okay.
that.
Josh Allen then, right? Or no? Is that negative?
I'm probably Tyler Warren here or Josh Allen. Either one. Either one's fine. But actually, Josh Allen probably not with James Cook. He
Well,
hasn't been
Warren's with
passing.
JT though. If that's I
Oh.
guess that's fine. Devontae, Rome. I don't know.
We'll take
Josh Allen.
Yeah, we'll stack that up, I guess. With this, we definitely need. We'll take Worthy the pick before the Mahomes guy.
It is tough because we just talked about how only so many quarterbacks are drafted 100% of the time. And we just took one of them. But
Well, I personally think that we definitely should have went Mahomes first. And this isn't being a homer. It's because I don't think James Cook so KC is giving up 15.3 total fantasy points to the entire backfield right now. Like, yes, James Cook may get more. But like 20 points isn't really enough to separate in this contest. So he has to get more than he basically has to get a touchdown more than what KC's averaging against. So I'm not saying it's not possible. It's possible.
But isn't like Buffalo really good against the pass?
yes, they're one of the best.
But that's because their Bills are actually Hold on.
I remember they were in a primetime Palooza like 3 weeks ago, or however long it was ago. But I just remember seeing it was surprisingly low the amount of passing yards they allow per game. It's like 180 or 170.
It's not that they're so good against the pass; it's that they're that bad against the run. They're just a run funnel. But let's be honest. If Josh Allen wants to throw the ball, he's throwing the ball. If Patrick Mahomes wants to throw the ball, he's throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I
I just think James Cook goes 2 rounds too early. Like I like Kamani Vidal ahead of James Cook this week. Like I straight up take Vidal over him.
Like when you're but if it's when they want to throw, they throw. Like I think just the scoring upside. Like you look at the game total in like the Chargers game versus that game. I mean that's a pretty giant spread.
So Oh,
Like,
so we can ignore tight end, right?
Why?
Because
why?
everybody else, there's only 2 people without one.
Well, I
It's
mean,
only
unless we
like,
specifically
yeah,
want one
like
before this guy.
like
Yeah.
we either take Bowers or like we just take Kelsey, right?
We
Well,
get Gadsden, Bowers, or Kelsey, but do we prefer one of them over the other?
Like, do we want Kelsey or do we want a Worthy for the bring
um,
back?
How much do we want Metcalf, Pittman?
I like one of the
Worthy?
receivers here first, like
He's going to take
Make
Mahomes.
a call on receiver. Make a call on receiver.
Metcalf
Met-
or Pittman, who Hames
Neither.
or whoever.
You need to take the Chief. Like
Worthy?
if we have Josh Allen plus James Cook, we have to take a Chief there. He has
Well,
Patrick Mahomes. Like the chance, like he was possibly double stacking there, and we needed that. Like we had to do that. And yeah, I think Pittman here is fine. Like it's not that I don't like Pittman or DK Metcalf. It's that we were so invested in that game that we had to do that.
I like Pittman just fine. Do we want to
Yeah.
scroll down at all on any of these receivers or take the tight end first? I'm cool with Pittman.
I think
We
Pittman's
do
fine.
have Jonathan Taylor, but we're just saying like Bills, Colts is how we're getting there.
I mean, yeah. And there's like Pittsburgh gives up a lot of points. And like I mean, if we get last round Bowers, like we take last round Bowers every time, right?
Yeah, I think so. Gadsden too. I kind of, I'm pretty in.
And I don't really mean to bully there, but like it just doesn't make like Josh
I get it. No, I get it. Oh yeah.
like it only because the guy at the one hole had Mahomes. Like we had to take like I feel like we needed a piece from the Chiefs side. And if we were stuck looking at Noah Gray and we just don't take any of it, like I don't feel good because if having Josh Allen plus James Cook means it is a 60-point game. Like there's no way that like Josh Allen plus James Cook is what you need unless the Bills have 35. Basically. So if that happens, KC has to have a piece come along. Right? Like because we have Cook plus Allen. If we had just Cook or just Allen, I don't think you need the Chiefs piece.
Yeah.
Bowers the call, or do we want to go with the hot hand?
Either one. Like but they're both fun.
I don't really have a strong preference.
Like
either one.
What it really comes down to me is like, who do you trust more in the game environment? The Chargers to give it to the Titans or the Raiders to do something? I think Brock Bowers is kind of independent, though.
I think it's more likely that Gadsden's game scripted out.
I trust Brock Bowers
me too.
a little bit more still,
and it gives us a bet like that we know because we have 2 of these 3. So like as a group, we can bet on Bowers.
Yeah, we have 2 Bowers JT teams.
Yeah, it gives us a reasonable like something to root for, right? Like Bowers JT is what we know we need for 2 of our 3 teams.
Binking says no Bowers. Kincaid leverage because the lower owned, and then
if Bowers is back at full speed, like Bowers, we've had 3 quarters of Bowers at full speed, and he had 5 catches for 100 yards. And like it's because they're coming off of a bye. Jacksonville's defense is a little banged up. I actually haven't seen if Smith is playing yet. If Smith is playing, it's a little worse pick, but like Brock Bowers. That's what it is.
We did draft a team. It's technically all 100% drafted players, so there is that. But we're really just we're saying it's got to be Bills and Colts. We have to bring back with Worthy. It's the highest scoring game in the slate. We're all in on that, and then Bowers has to just be Brock Bowers.
Yeah, like the problem with this contest being like I don't know how many BRs he does, but like overstacking and these are a little worse generally. And this is like like I don't mind that like we've seen multiple weeks where Pittman's 20 points is like fine. Like it could get you there. And this week could easily be one of those. What are you
What
laughing at?
I like all
Oh,
these
the
teams.
comment.
I think I just like
The
getting
comment.
exposure, different game environments, different builds and
Yeah.
stuff. And I think it's always fun to draft with y'all too. Kind of
Right.
not y'all too, but like y'all also. Either way, it is late. We have to shut it
Correct.
down. We drafted a few teams. We played a fun game. I'll make sure I'll post these teams on Twitter. Maybe I'll post them on Twitter. Maybe I'll just DM y'all, but we'll get them out there. We can trace them this week. We can sweat them out together. Any final thoughts for you guys before we send it into the night?
No, I'm hoping to get to work and them telling me that I can go home as soon as I get there tomorrow because that's been happening all week. So hopefully my first day I can do that, come home, waste a bunch of money on the overlay over on Drafters.
There you go. Sounds like a day.
Appreciate y'all for being here. Thanks for watching. Hartman, any last words? Anything for the good people?
No, have a good night. Draft
All
some
right,
winners.
thanks.
Draft some shippers.
Yeah, draft some shippers. Thanks for being here. Hope you guys had some fun tonight drafting with us, playing the game, talking ball. We'll catch y'all in another one real soon. Make sure you hit that like on your way out. Leave a comment if you feel so kind. Peace out. See y'all.